All right, y'all, we give praise and esteem and honor to the living Elohim in the name of Yahuah HaMashiach this day. And we're going to pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life. And there they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come by Abba's name, you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you. The Abba, there is one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? So all esteem the Abba and Shamahim in the name of Yahushua. Ezra chapter 6, verse 7. Let the work of the house of Elohim alone, of the house of Elohim alone. Let the governor of the Yahudim and the elders of the Yahudim build this house of Elohim in its place. Moreover, I make a decree. What shall you do to the elders of these Yahudim for building of this house of Elohim, that the king's goods of the tribute beyond the river forthwith expenses be given unto these men, that they be not hindered, and that which they have need of, both young bullocks, rams, lambs, for burnt offerings of the Elohim and Shamahim, wheat, salt, wine, and oil, according to the appointment of the priests, which at Jerusalem, let it be given them day by day without fail, that they may offer sacrifices of sweet savors unto the Elohim and Shamahim. Pray for the life of the king and of his sons. Let's swing over here to Psalms 54. Save me, O Elohim, by your name, and judge me by your strength. Hear my prayer. O Elohim, give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers are risen up against me, and oppressors seek after my soul. They have not set Elohim before them. Selah. Behold, Elohim, my helper, the Lord, with them that uphold my soul. He shall reward evil unto my enemies, cut them off in your truth. I will freely sacrifice unto you. I will praise your name, O Yahuah, for it is good. Let me see something, man. Indeed. Come on over here to Psalms 116. Psalms 116. We're going to be in verse 1. We're going to come back to Leviticus chapter 2 in just a moment. I love Yahuah, because he have heard my voice, my supplications, because he have inclined his ear unto me. Therefore I will call upon as long as I live. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the pains of hell got hold upon me. I found trouble and sorrow. Come over here to Matthew 26. In a second. 26 and 45. Nah, she good. She tough. You done distracted her. Then came he to his disciples and said unto them, sleep on now, take rest. Behold, the hour is come. The hour is at hand, and the son of Adam is betrayed into the hand of sinners. Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand that do betray me. And while he yet spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12, came, with him a great multitude with swords and staves, from the chief priests and the elders of the people. Now he that betrayed him gave them a sign, saying, whomsoever I shall kiss, the same is he, hold him fast. Forthwith he came to Yahushua and said, hail, master, and kissed him. And Yahushua said unto him, friend, wherefore are you come? Then came they and laid hands on Yahushua and took him. And behold, one of them which were with Yahushua stretched out hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear. Now let's come back to Psalms 116. We just referenced that to show you how the pains of what is that? Death compassed him, and the pains of hell got hold on him and found trouble and sorrow. Not only just with those people surrounding him, but of course, you know him saying that he was exceedingly sorrowful, even on death. Joanne. Verse 4, Psalms 116. Then I called upon the name of Yahuah. Oh, Yahuah, I beseech you, deliver my soul. Gracious Yahuah, righteous, Elohim, merciful. Let's just take a look at all them words just on general principle. Now it states again the same thing we could see in Exodus. Kanun for gracious, Kai, Noon, U, and Noon. Kai, Noon, U, and Noon. So we see that there's a seed that has separated you and secured you to life. That's why that the salvation is grace and not of yourself. The next thing he tell you, of course, you know, righteous is Zadok, and merciful is Rakam, which is to love deeply or to have mercy. Rosh, Kot, and Meme. You've been separated by the blood of the chief. That's how you're able to have mercy. Pause as we discuss that. Let's come back over here to Hebrews chapter 9. Hebrews 9 and 10. But shoot, you could make it 8. Hebrews 9 and 8. The Ruach HaKadosh, this signifying. Matter of fact, make it 7. But the second, the high priest alone once every year, not without blood, which he offered for himself and the errors of the people. The Ruach HaKadosh, this signifying that the way into the Kadosh of all was not yet made manifest, while the first tabernacle was yet standing, which figured for the time then present, and which offered both gifts and sacrifices that could not make him that did the service perfect as pertaining to the conscience. Only in meats and drinks and diverse washings and carnal ordinances opposed until the time of Reformation. What do y'all think that meats and drinks refer to? What does meat and drinks refer to? Baby Joanne. Oh, y'all don't know? I'm gonna start making you niggas do push-ups then. Let me go on and get 12. You the first thing in my eyesight, so that's why you go first. Well, absolutely not. So go ahead. I need 12. No, ain't no back end. I need 12. I'm gonna need 12. I'm gonna need 12 from everybody. I need 12. I ain't playing. I'm ever so serious. I need 12 push-ups from everybody. If anybody can't tell me what meats and drinks is, because this is unacceptable. I ain't joking. No, I need 12. Y'all can't answer this simple question. I'm gonna need 12 for everybody, children included. I need 12 push-ups from everybody. No, that y'all just throwing stuff out there. I need 12. Y'all just throwing stuff out there. Y'all not even reading the passage. Y'all, you heard it. Y'all just trying to relate it to the Lord. That's not what that passage talking about. I need 12. What you think, Gigi? I need 12, man. He told you wrong because we in verse 10. So I'm gonna need. I need 12 push-ups from everybody. I don't know. I need 12. Offerings of what? What are you talking about? What you talking about? How you gonna ask me a question? What's good on the offering? Part of order. Well, you lucky, boy. Civic bailed you out. Thank you. What's that? Come over here to Numbers 28. I'm gonna start making you niggas do push-ups in here. Numbers 28 and 1. So when you see meat and drinks, you know exactly what it's talking about. And Yahuah spake unto Moses, command the sons of Yasharal, saying unto them, my offering, my bread for my sacrifices, made by fire, us what? A sweet savor unto me. Let's take a look at that. Just that sweet savor. You seeing it again. Now, when you look at offerings made by fire, that particular word is ish-shah, burnt offering, offering made by fire, fire offering. Usually, at times, any sacrifice, olive, shan, and hay. So you have beheld the consuming of the ox. You've seen this man get sacrificed. You know what I'm talking about? As forth as when you're talking about burnt offering made by fire, sweet savor. You've seen it a few times. And again, that is ni koach, something that is quieting, soothing, pleasant, delightful, tranquilizing. Verse 3, Numbers 28. You shall say unto them, this offering made by fire, which you shall offer unto Yahuah, 2 lambs of the first year without spot, day by day, a continual burnt offering. The 1 lamb you shall offer in the morning, the other lamb you shall offer at even. And the 10th of an ephah flour for a meat offering, mingled with the 4th of a hin of beaten oil. A continual burnt offering, which was ordained at Mount Sinai for a sweet savor, a sacrifice made by fire unto Yahuah. And the drink offering thereof, the 4th part of a hin for 1 lamb in the Kadash, shall you cause the strong wine to be poured unto Yahuah, a drink offering. So when you come back over here to Numbers chapter 9, Hebrew chapter 9. And you see him talking about meats and drinks and diverse washings. If you want to look at diverse washings, of course, you know, you got the ones in Exodus that's pertaining to the priests and carnal ordinances. Those are things that are pertained with in the law as it pertains to things and sacrifices. Of course, we done dealt with that in time past. Fringes is a part of that also. I know that offends a lot of brews, but that's a carnal ordinance. You know?
So I can understand meats and drinks. So the meats is burnt up.
Well, the meats is the sacrifice of the animals, and then you had drink offerings. So just like what you just seen in number 28, you poured out wine to Yahuah, and you offered it to him. Same way niggas like to pour out liquor for the dead. You know what I'm saying? So you would pour out wine, and it ain't came to my mind. It's the same token of like when David wanted water out that well, and 3 of his men hazarded their life to go get that water. And he said, there's no way that I can take that water. Y'all risked y'all life for it. So I'm going to pour this water out to Yahuah and give it to him. You know what I'm saying? So the drink offering and the meat offerings are things that you'll give to Yahuah. That goes back to when we were talking about, that's what people don't understand. Like, there's no way that you think that this man is going to bless you with X, Y, Z, and then you don't kick down. You know what I'm talking about? Because and I'm just telling you that in regard of what people look at it in this modern world, and then you translate it to the word. Because you'll have somebody want a man to pay all the bills, she make money, but she don't kick down nothing to him. We ain't talking about paying no bills. We talking about kicking down. You know what I'm saying? What does that mean? Yes. Yeah, you got to kick down at bare minimum 50% of what you earn. Because there's nowhere in the world you would expect a man to spend 100% of what he earning on the household expenses, and you keep all your money. That means you think this man is a sucker. So when you turn around and you look at Jacob, what's the first thing Jacob said? He said, if you give me bread to eat, garments to wear, and keep me in the way that I go, that means I give you 10% of everything that I got. Because he understanding this man is giving me a provision that I can't meet. So the bare minimum that I can do is kick down. Because what I'm getting it from him. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a lot of people are just soured from the church system. I would surmise based off of people's conversation. You know what I'm talking about? Whatever they experienced in that particular system. So they look at it as like I said a couple weeks ago. That's on you if you giving your money to a liar. You shouldn't be mad at nobody but yourself. You know what I'm saying? I just was telling my homeboy that in Georgia. See, y'all know this, but most brews and Christians don't know you're only supposed to tithe 3 times a year anyway. So if this nigga's asking you to tithe every week, this nigga you don't know no book. Because you ain't supposed to be doing that. There's nowhere in this book where it say, yeah, man, let me get 10% of your paycheck every week. You got to realize something, right? When you look at it in the aspect of how those people lived at that particular time, they were agricultural people. How in the world are you going to tithe every week? Do you reap crops every week? No, you don't. You know what I'm talking about? So that's impossible. You're not bringing in crops every month because that is a process. But also, like I said, when I talked to my man yesterday, it cleared his mind immediately because those were the 3 times a year that it was mandatory attendance. You understand? See, like when the Shabbat roll around, you're not required to go to Jerusalem. You know what I'm saying? You keep Sabbath in the city that you're in. That's why they had synagogues, at least in Mashiach's time, or they had priests. That's why the man put priests in every inheritance of every tribe. You know how difficult that would be for everybody once a week to pack up and go to Jerusalem? Then to turn around, pack up, and go back home? No, he didn't require that of you. But for Pentecost, you can bring your heavy behind up here. Tabernacles and Passover, you up here for a whole week. See how we got it in our mind, how most people do it. You know, they just worry about the first day and the last day of Passover, and then everybody going back their lives. These men, those men, you had to come, and you had to be there for the whole week. So, and you can't come with nothing. Because he's looking at it is, I done blessed you this whole entire time, and you ain't brought me nothing. He like, oh, nah, bro. That's not gonna work. That's not working for me. Like, this is not difficult to understand. Now, when you talking about burnt offerings and meat offerings and volunteer offerings and peace offerings and Thanksgiving offerings, those are 2 totally different things. That's contingent on what's going on with that specific individual in certain situations and circumstances. You know what I'm talking about? Now, when you go to talking about, like we were talking about yesterday, temple tax, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. That's something totally different. I'm only referencing that for one reason. It's something I keep telling y'all all the time. Niggas don't really know the law like that. You know what I'm saying? So if they don't even know those matters, what make you think they're going to know the other stuff? You know what I'm saying? That's of heavier weight. Because if you're talking about tithes, that's the lighter matters of the law. That's a light matter. That's not even that complex. That's not even that deep. That's not even, it's important, but it's not more important than judgment, mercy, and faith. Because anybody can pay a tithe. You know what I'm saying? That's why he told them in that. You paying and it's coming and this, that, there, and the third, but you're evil as hell. He said you should have done this over here and versus doing this and not doing that. That's the point. Because if we was to sit down and talk to a lot of people, man, and like, yeah, man, you know this about the law. They don't know. They don't know. The only part they want to read about the law is that a man ain't supposed to have no hot dog in his buns and what type of foods you shouldn't be eating and feast days. That's the most of many of them going to talk to you about. Because if they knew, they wouldn't be around here screaming about Levitical priesthood and talking about that. Who cares? They would even, matter of fact, that's not even that. They would know how the priesthood operates. You know what I'm talking about? They would know what rules and regulations is required before making statements that don't matter. You understand? So, let me tell you this word for reformation in this Hebrew 9 and 10, just to bring it back to your memory. When you look at the Greek word for reformation here, it is diorothis, and that is acts of institutions or reformation or restoration or to straighten or to rectify. So do you know what it means to rectify something? It means to correct it. Does that mean that there was something wrong with sacrifices and drink offerings? No. But this is the point that it come in at, what we referenced probably about a week or so ago in Jeremiah 7. He never asked your forefathers for that. He never wanted it. He doesn't care nothing about you having no fringes at the bottom of your shirt. That wasn't going to make you perfect. And you a damn fool if you think it will. You know what I'm talking about? Because you think I'm keeping the commandments. Okay, make sure you don't break now since you pressed about that fringe. Don't break now. Because if you're going to say that now, you can't break now. Because he ain't going to look at you and be like, you kept them fringes on, but you sure was an unmerciful, unloving bastard. But it's all good. You ain't had no faith. You got them fringes on. No, you still going to hell. You know what I'm talking about? With an express ticket. Because if you need to look at something physical at the bottom of your shirt, not to go at them. Let me just read to you what the man say the fringes is for. And it can really just go ahead and show you how weak your heart is. Just like it said in Ezekiel. You got the heart of an imperious, whorish woman. That's what you got going on. See, that's what you're seeing right there. Well, what's the name is? What that bald-headed hoe like to twerk on the boy? Because the nigga from Jacksonville kissed her in the mouth. That nigga that make the city look bad. And not because he kissed that hoe in the mouth or whatever he did. That nigga was on some gay stuff. I seen in the clip. I say, man, that nigga is not from Jacksonville any longer. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, he traded himself. He don't come back around here. We don't know him. You know what I'm talking about? But all jokes aside, like they looking at this woman, right? But that is the work of an imperious, whorish woman. Her whole entire life. She was in one of them Detroit movies we were looking at. You know what I'm talking about? But I say this here. Does that mean a strange man can walk up and kiss her in the mouth? No, not necessarily. You know what I'm talking about? But guess what, though? But when you a slut, that's what happens. And this is the problem. You can't be a slut and get expected to be treated like a lady. That's not how life works. Can't do it. That doesn't condone him. Because, nigga, you nasty. Why is you kissing a whore in the mouth? A strange whore that ain't your whore. That's where that nigga weird at. But you just ran up and walk up and kiss random you know what I'm saying, in the mouth? Because you thought that was funny? But see, this is the thing, right? It may sound harsh, but this is the reality of life. You can't carry yourself in a dishonorable fashion and expect honor. You can't. See, we live in a society that tell you that no matter what you do, no matter how you live, that you should be treated with the utmost honor and respect. And that's not life. That's not life. That's what I meant yesterday. I'm talking about it's so many dishonorable people that you don't have a problem integrating with dishonorable people because you feel like even if this person is dishonorable, they're still worthy of respect. You're not. Why we give a damn about this hoe and she molested a little boy? Because she was out there in public twerking a little monkey on a 10-year-old boy. Ain't nobody had no problem with that. And she had the nerve to put it on camera and spread it across the world. Nobody had a problem with that. She violated a little boy.
That Madonna did to Drake. Same thing he did to her, Madonna did to Drake.
Nobody got a problem with that. In the mouth. And we know where Madonna mouth been at. Shalom, brother. Madonna mouth been somewhere everywhere. You know that stinking hoe had the nerve about a year or so ago to post pictures in her drawers up under a bed with a thong. Oh, you 65 years old. No, but Martha, well, I didn't see I just seen she's on the cover. Martha wasn't taking no backshot pictures. Nigga put that on Instagram, nigga scrolled, and nigga was traumatized for 3.5 minutes. Because you don't know what's gonna come up when you swing up. Now you done swung up and this is what you see. A damn near 70-year-old woman with a thong on with a butt tooted in the air. She is dead. She been dead for a long time. She ain't got nothing. She never had it. Don't know about, man, that ain't nothing but a sex witch. You mess with that woman if you want to. Your soul going away. Yeah, man, that's what you got going on. You can't do that. It's the same thing with a man. You can't be a dishonorable man and then expect men to treat you with honor and respect. See, that's something as women that y'all don't understand. If it's a dude and niggas know that you could walk up and slap this dude in the face and put your hands in his pocket and take his money, ain't nobody walking around looking at him like you ought to respect him. You fool. That's how you seen. That's how you getting treated. And that's what it is until you grow some nuts. But see, that's the thing, though. And unfortunately, that's how a lot of women see life. And that's how Yahuah seen life. That's why he said what he said in Ezekiel. You think that no matter how you dress, no matter how you speak, no matter how you behave, that you're supposed to be treated like a lady. I'm a queen. The hell you say? Where your husband at? Because if you ain't got no husband, you ain't no queen. And if your daddy ain't no king, you ain't no queen. Oh, you a princess. Your daddy's still alive. What kingdom do you run? You're lying to yourself. Queens don't come out the door half naked. You know what I'm talking about? Queens don't talk any kind of way. Queens ain't rude. Queens don't use vulgar language. They don't do any unless you the actual root word of queen. You remember what that is? Boop, you remember what that is? Yeah, that's a banshee, a demon, a whore. Unless you one of them. You talking about a queen, that's royalty, that's regality. People of higher nobility conduct themselves in a different fashion. You can't be out here and I can see the print of your birth canal and you expect to get respected. No, that ain't gonna work. If I can see top boob, side boob, you're not gonna get respected. Does that mean people can come touch you? No, but you shouldn't be shocked when it happens. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know a lot of women will say, well, men need to control themselves. But guess what? Ain't none of these bald-headed scallywags had nothing to say when this nigga Steph Curry, funky slut dog, whole wife, acted like she was finna take her ring off when a man came out with no shirt on. And they laughing. And you know the sad part is, Jeezy's wife had to slide and try to put her hand down like, come on, ho, you embarrassing yourself and your husband. So you know what that means when she doing when ain't nobody looking? She playing with wee-wees. Yeah. Nobody won't have no problem with that. Just like he said with Madonna. See, if it's reversed, a woman feel like she can be invited and touch a man's body, and he gay if he don't want her to do it. No, that don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't work like that. I guarantee you, if you put certain men in a certain space and he muscular with no shirt on, all oiled up, then women feel like they can touch him, whether he want to be touched or not. But guess what, though? He put himself out there like that. You came out there with them little shorts on tight around your hips with no shirt on, with oil on your body. Clearly, you came out here for some sexual enticement. You got what you were looking for. You know what I'm talking about? Man, how many men you know walk around with baby oil on their chest? Ain't no that much moisture in the world. But what I'm saying is, if he step out the door like that on that type of time, that's what you were looking for. So you can't cry about it when you got what you were looking for. The same way dudes who leave with their money and then claim women is gold diggers and she used them. That's what you claim. Hey, man, that's what you came looking for. You got what you were looking for. You can't leave with some and then be shocked, but that's what people want from you. You can't leave with that and then be shocked. That's your fault. You'd have done it. Where I was at? Number 9. But yeah, buddy who did that, I don't know much about him. I didn't know that nigga weird. I seen some junk, he was on some old, they finna play with my booty hole if I don't do that. Oh, they was at some press conference. But what about that 10-year-old boy she assaulted? She ain't say nothing about that. But said that I don't want to hear it. I don't care. I mean, genuinely, at the end of the day, if you live your life like a whore, I don't care what happens to you. You know what I'm talking about? That's the choices you make. I don't care. I don't feel sorry for you because this is how you presented yourself to the world. So you got to take what comes along with that. Now, see, if that's an honorable woman, see, the difference is if that was an honorable woman, you would see men like, hey, bro, what you got going on? This whole literally just came out with a song talking about she eating random booty.
But before that clip, she was telling him that he'll turn him out. Yeah, for the clip, they didn't release that. So they was just on the bandwagon and saying, "Oh, Eve just forced herself on." Oh,
so she enticed him.
She was talking nasty before that. Yeah, that's why he did it.
He should have did it, but
well, I mean, shoot, that's what she wanted him to do.
She was like, "You know, you're wrong." She was saying something nasty.
Well, that's what she get. Bald-headed scallywag. Hebrew 9 and 11.
Okay, like we thought you wanted it. She was talking nasty.
I'm not. This is the thing. She don't like him. If she liked him, see, it wouldn't have been no problem. Yeah, that's all that is. I know of them. I don't know them. But I did see once some old Puerto Rican dude was getting in Lil Duval ear doing something.
I saw that. He got his bodyguard.
The bodyguard part wasn't funny. It was that nigga say, nigga, what up? And nigga say, hey man, you need to get this nigga. That was funny.
Like, bro, that's not
That's right. The look on his face. What that nigga was like, man, what the hell wrong with this nigga? That nigga changed his voice when the bodyguard got him. That nigga folded that nigga on his neck. That nigga said, hold on, bro. It's for you two. That nigga gonna get enough of that junk, man. See, situations like that, that's how dudes carry rape charges. You be in there fooling with a chick, you like this here, now she feel like, I regret having sex with you. And call and say a nigga raped her. It's a lot of dudes done went to jail for that. Woman done slept with him, now she got penis remorse, and she called, and you going to jail for rape.
She didn't even make a big deal about it until social media.
Oh yeah, a lot of white girls. I'm talking about that where it happened at the most. Shoot, when the father found out his daughter was a common whore. What I'm talking about? Now they on the phone. He raped me, daddy. He took it. That's what happened with that white boy at the Duke lacrosse team, man. That woman had went round up. She had done slept with all them boys, and then she turned around and said, I can try to get a come up off the university and said the boy raped her. The whole time they ran a train on her, and she was with it. Damn, so did. Well, no, he didn't get convicted for rape. He got convicted for touching somebody's butt without permission. If you go look up what he was actually convicted of, it was touching somebody without permission. But actual sexual assault or forcible rape, that's not what he was convicted of. They only mentioned the rape part because that's what he was charged with. You know what I'm saying? But that was really Haitian Jack's friends that did that girl like that. Allegedly. He got held accountable for it because he was a dumb nigga in the wrong place at the wrong time, hanging with the wrong people. What'd you say, bro? Yeah, I seen the story, but I didn't read it. Oh, there ain't nothing, man. Men get accused of rape, man, and that's a charge that whether you did it or not, that junk gonna be with you for the rest of your life. I mean, look at Mike Tyson, man. Mike Tyson did time in prison. Like they say, man, you call a nigga call you to their hotel room at 3:00 in the morning. What you thought you were coming over to play Yahtzee? To talk about the weather? Yeah, man.
He might have. He might have.
Now, see, this is different. See, this is thing that y'all don't know because y'all win, and then you move on, right? It's not the fact you got some men. Okay, they ain't got to take no monkey, but it's not the fact that they don't have to do it. Some dudes like the power of being able to do that. See, you'll only know that if you actually, she used to watch murders. You know what I'm saying? The true crime stories, and you see a lot of them dudes get off on the thrill of the power or the fear that they're instilling in another human being. You know what I'm saying? So weird mental dynamic all the way around the board. Like you have to be a real sick individual to think like that. But for the most part, most of them dudes, if you got that level of money and notoriety, no, you don't have to do that. So it might not be on the aspect, yeah, I know I can have relations. It's just the power thing. Some dudes get off on that. So you know what I'm saying? It's just different. But the thing is as a man, you got to be careful that's why you can't be led by your penis. You know what I'm saying? To be involved with somebody that might be able to do that to you for that specific reason, to be able to try to get you out of money, because you could lose your freedom behind stuff like this. You know what I'm talking about? Like, end of the day, that dude, Brian Banks, that man lost his whole life. He wanted to be a football player. That woman lied at USC and said he raped her. That man's whole career was gone.
You know who was the dude that played on Nate Parker? That happened to him before he got big in college. He slept with a white girl and shit. He said he lost pretty much like everything for a while. They wouldn't even like cast him in the for a while. Because
that's something you got to walk around. See, that's the thing. That's what y'all don't understand, right?
And she killed herself. So.
You get arrested for a crime, especially if it's notoriety, say they put the charges out, you go to trial and beat it. When somebody pull that up, they're not going to see the disposition of the case. They're just going to see that you were arrested for it. You know what I'm talking about? So now all they're going to know is you're a rapist. It don't matter that you didn't do it. You went to jail for it. You a child molester. Don't matter if you didn't do it. You went to jail for it. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to carry that for the rest of your life. So you have to make sure that you don't put yourself in situations or circumstances to allow an individual to do you like that. Because you're going to carry that for the rest of your life. Because people don't care nothing about, but I didn't do it. All they going to know is that's such and such. He went to jail for rape. She ain't raped nobody. This is here, regardless how you feel about O.J. Simpson, that man beat that case. Say he killed them people. Whether he killed them or not. That's how most people feel in America. If you go to jail for a crime, they believe you did it. Because if you didn't do it, why you go to jail for it?
Because she was upset she didn't get a grade that she wanted. And she died on the man. And he was arrested and splattered all over the newspaper. A year later, when it came time for her to give her her deposition, and she had to, I swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth. Oh, then she said, I can't do this. I gotta tell y'all the truth. I'm lying. But the man said his life is ruined. He can't get a teaching job nowhere.
His life over with. And most women know that. You know what I'm saying? That they can do that. And that's horrible. It is what it is, though. That's the reality of life. Hebrews 9:11. He said, but Mashiach, oh, I'm supposed to read Numbers 15. That's what I'm supposed to do. Baby Joanne. Come on here. Come on here, Clark Kent, baby. 15:37. Come on. And Yahuah spake unto Moses, saying, speaking to the sons of Yasharal, and bid them that they make fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe borders ribbon of blue. And it shall be unto you for a fringe that you may look upon it and remember all the commandments of Yahuah to do them. And look at what he say, that you seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, which you use to go a-whoring. So if you need to look at some fringes to know not to go after your own heart, you already got a problem. You already got a problem. You know why? Mark 12:28. Mark 12, verse 28. And one of the scribes came, and having heard them reasoning together and perceiving that he had answered them well, asked him which is the first commandment of all. Yahushua answered him, the first of all the commandments, hear, O Yasharal, Yahuah our Elohim is one Lord. And you shall love Yahuah your Elohim with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. This the first commandment. If you got that, what you need fringes for? You know what I'm talking about? If you love that man with your whole mind, heart, and soul, you wouldn't need to look down at nothing at the bottom of your garment not to go a-whoring. You wouldn't need that because he said seeking after your own heart because you be seeking after your master. You need that because you're not seeking after your master. That's why he gave them that in the wilderness, because them niggas was out there wilding, and y'all know that. You ever had that? Because it sucks. Compared to the other. Come on back to Hebrews 9. But the other one, what it is, the lollipop? Lollipop.
I thought it was lollipop.
That's probably trademark. Hebrews 9:11. Oh yeah, without question. I can guarantee you somebody probably trademark that long time ago. Yeah, you can call it whatever you want. And if you won't call it a lollipop and put it on the packaging, you get sued. Hell, 3P is trademark. These nuts, 3P.
3P.
3-peat.
Wayne has a song called 3 Peat.
Yeah, you can put it in a song. You can't put it on clothing. Pat Riley on that. Pat Riley was the coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. When them niggas won 3 championships in a row, that nigga trademarked 3-peat.
So you can't say, so somebody can win games like that.
You can say it, you can't put it on clothing. You know what I'm saying? Like she said, like Band-Aid, like other companies can make bandages, but they can't call it Band-Aid. That's why, that's why when Dixie cookies was big 60s. Can't call them whole no Oreos. You can sue. Big 60s. Anything.
Yeah, Girl Scout cookies they remade it, but they call it cream.
You can't do that. Hebrew 9:11. But Amashah becoming a high priest of good things to come by a greater and more perfect tabernacle, not made with hands, that is to say, not of this building, neither by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood he entered the Kadash place, having obtained eternal redemption. For if the bloods of bulls, the ashes of a heifer sprinkle into the unclean, sanctify the purifying of the flesh, how much more shall the blood of a Mashiach, who through the eternal Ruach offered himself without spot to Elohim, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living Elohim. For this cause he is the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death for the redemption of the transgressions under the first testament, that they which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. Notice that he said, right, that you might be redeemed from the transgressions of the first testament. See, all you got to do is go back to the story of the golden calf, and you already seen the rebellion under the first covenant. It's over with. I was talking with my man yesterday, man. And I was telling him, like, you know, it's a different, because I think he meant when Young Miami was like, I'm a whore. And another dude I know, he was like, this is a shame she's lost. I'm like, that hoe ain't lost. Her mama a hoe. So her grandma probably was a hoe. See, this is something that niggas in the word don't want to accept. Some people come from bloodlines of whores. You know what I'm talking about? It is what it is. See, we're not talking about you had a good family and you decided to go straight out here and be a nigga. That's lost because you came from a better background and you chose to go out here and run the streets. Y'all done seen the movie where they had them church girls and now she want to go be out there in the street hanging with the thug niggas. Then she want to come back to church with their redemption story. She found some man to love her. You know what I'm talking about? She been getting rammed through for 10 years. But then you got women who were just whore. Grandma was a hoe. Mama was a hoe. Daughter is a hoe. You know what I'm talking about? Did you see how confidently and calmly that she just stated, I'm a whore? That would say with a W. When she said with a W, I knew that she's a professional. She know who she is. She's not even trying. See, this is where a lot of dudes get messed up at. I'm not trying to be funny or disparaging or nothing. I'm just trying to help your son so they don't be no damn fool. When a lot of dudes will see a woman, because women do it too. The difference is women do it with bum niggas. But the book tell you that a whore is a what? A deep bitch. You know what I'm talking about? Book tell you not to do stuff like this here. You can't reform a woman who's a whore. That's who she is intrinsically. And like I was telling him, I've been telling y'all this for years, right? You're not a whore necessarily because you have sex with a lot of men. See, the whore starts in the mind. You know what I'm saying? And you know one of the key elements of whoredom? What you think one of the key elements of whoredom is, Doris? What's one of the key elements? Well, that's one of them. That's definitely in the top 5. Shamelessness is definitely in the top 5. But it's one key thing that can get you walking down the road of whoredom. And you ain't got to have sex but with one man. Rebellion. You know what I'm talking about? When you want to rebel against authority, when you have the selfless intent that I'm going to do, when you look at the text and you see it, notice what he said, right? Because we just read it. That's why it's in my mind. In Numbers 15, what he said, that you seek not after your own heart, that you go a what? A whoring. That's what he said. Let's look at what whoring is in Numbers. It's probably the same word that's used for harlot, but let's look and see. See, whore is buck. been telling you for years, Beyonce's a whore. And she been married for a long time. How's she a whore? She ain't having sex with nobody. I mean, but shoot, nobody cares about Gabrielle.
I ain't never heard niggas go, oh, Gabrielle Union.
You haven't. You won't.
Never heard
Nobody's looking for Gabriel. No. Yeah, you definitely heard no dudes run away like, woo, woo. You had more dudes lusting after Lil' Kim than you ever had after Gabrielle Union, and then she on record talking about swallowing Sprite cans. So it is zina, and it is to commit fornication, to be a harlot, to play the harlot, to be a cult prostitute, to commit adultery, or more than likely to be unfaithful. So that's the key point is, right? And being faithful to somebody is just not limited to what you do with your genitalia. Because to be faithful to Yahuah is to be faithful to his instructions, to his way, to his cause, to his purpose. And if you're a rebel, then you're not faithful. You know what I'm talking about? And that's the key point of whoredom. Whoredom ain't got nothing to do with what you do with China. You know what I'm talking about? It's just one element. It is not the element. You know what I'm saying? Before you do anything with your vagina, you got to be a whore in the mind. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a whore in the mind first. It's a lot of women out here who are not sexually promiscuous, who are whores. And they teach whoredom. You know what I'm talking about? Every single solitary day. Because at the end of the day, when you look at how a lot of people deal with the word, that's why people are not faithful. Because you teach a whoring. You just go home. Basically, I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say. I don't care what the instructions is. I don't care what the rules are. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to move how I want to move. I'm going to go how I want to go. You're a whore. Matter of fact, Revelation chapter 2. What's wrong with you, boy? Why you looking like you finna cry? What? Oh, I'm not. Why you talk like that? Revelation 2:18. You got my money? Don't make a fool of me, bro. Where's my money? You ain't got no. You know, say I don't have anything. Nah, I ain't got nothing. You talk like that? Is that how you construct your sentences? That's poor sentence structure, sir. Sir. Revelation 2:18. And unto the Malachim of the synagogue in Thyatira write, these things saith the son of Elohim, who have his eyes like unto a flame of fire, and his feet like fine brass. I know your works, and your love, and service, and faith, and patience, and your works, and the last more than the first. So, of course, his statement to this particular synagogue in Thyatira is that they do more now than they did when they first started in the word. So you would have to ask yourself this here when you look at that. Your works, your love, your service, your faith, your patience, is it greater now than what it was when you started? Notwithstanding, I have a few things against you because you suffer that woman Jezebel, which called herself a prophetess, to teach and seduce my servants to commit fornication and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. And I gave her space to repent of her fornication, and she repented not. Behold, I will cast her children, I will cast her into a bed, and them that commit adultery with her into great tribulation, except they repent of their deeds. And I will kill her sons with death. And all the synagogues shall know that I am he which search the reins and the hearts, and I will give unto you, every one of you, according to your works. Now, you know, we done talk about Jezebel. You know, people like to say she got a Jezebel spirit. Being a whore and being a Jezebel are not mutually exclusive. Y'all do know that, right? Y'all remember that, right? What kind of woman is Jezebel, Doris? What kind of woman is she? What kind of woman is she? She was an idolater. She was a married woman. She was an idolater. She was a rebel. Now, see, she hated righteous men. Now let's get it real now. Jezebel was a whore in regards to her hatred for Yahuah and his prophets. But in fundamental practice, she was nothing but a cantankerous, contentious, disobedient, wrathful, vengeful individual. Then, of course, what she wanted to do, the reason why I say that she teach my servants and seduce them to commit adultery, because that's what Jezebel was doing in real life. What is Jezebel known for doing in the text? She was killing the prophets, but then she replaced them with the prophets of Baal to try to teach and seduce Yasharal to serve Baal, which is why you seen Elijah said, how long will you halt between two opinions? If Yahuah be God, serve him. If Baal be God, serve him. Because that is the level of whoredom that she's teaching as forth as being unfaithful to Yahuah. See, again, I need you to always remember that being a whore is about being unfaithful. And it's not necessarily being unfaithful with your genitalia. It's being unfaithful with your conduct. You know what I'm saying? That's why he said that you don't seek after your heart, that you go not a whoring. Because if you're going after your own mind, then you're going what? You seeking after your own will and your own way. How are you going to be faithful to Yahuah? See, that's why people who go a whoring will never offer a Thanksgiving, offer the sacrifice of Thanksgiving. They can never do it because they don't have anything that they can give thanks for because they're going after their own will. So let me tell you something. Especially, you hear dudes do it, but this is not to harp on women. It's just because women tend to participate in this type of behavior more openly. But dudes do it also. I just don't see them do it as much. And what do I mean by what behavior am I referring to? How many times you see women who don't do anything close to what the book say to do? Always talking about how blessed they are, how highly favored they are, how every time something good goes or something that they desire, that God has blessed them and did that, and the third. Or men do it in a different way. God wants you to have this prosperous life, all your enemy, all this type of stuff. But I did. Shalom, man, I did, because the Wi-Fi kept going out. So we only went like 30 minutes last night. So I started earlier to make up time. To make up that time. So when you look at it in that regard, right, of not being faithful, how you faithful to a God, but you doing nothing that he say do? That's not how it works. That is a whore. You understand? I'm really just trying to hammer on this point that you don't get focused on genitalia. Oh, it's all good, my G. Being a whore ain't always got to do what you do with your genitalia. You know what I'm saying? It has to do with your conduct and your mindset. I've been telling you that for a long time. Because I've been telling you for years, Beyonce is probably the biggest whore on the planet that you know of. You know what I'm talking about? As forth as who you can point to. And why do I say that? But see, this is the crazy thing. Her public persona is a whore. But her private persona, she is not a whore. You know what I'm saying? Because she's loyally faithful to her husband. You know what I'm saying? She's just promoting whoredom to you. That ain't what you want in your life. Because if you can't be faithful to something, then you ain't going to accomplish too much of nothing of note. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the things that we get caught up with, man, is gender type stuff. Because of course, you dealing with most churches, right? Who do the churches usually appeal to? They usually seek to appeal to women. So this is why you're going to hear women espouse what I just mentioned. Because that's who's usually there, because they're marketing to them with the hopes that I can get them to give me all their money. You know what I'm saying? See, when you look at stuff and you worrying about a gender war type deal, and I heard a dude say this the other day, and I don't disagree with it at all. This whole gender war type thing very well might have been a FBI or CIA psych op, and it worked marvelously. You know what I'm talking about? Man, I guarantee you, if it was, that I would say those who created it would say that this probably worked out better than they anticipated. You know what I'm talking about? Because the people bought it hook, line, and sinker. Because all you really have to do is play into people's negative experiences in life and predispose ideas of certain things through limited life experience. And that's all you need. And that's all you need. If you put it out there, all men ain't this. You see it all the time. They've been programming for years. Two of the biggest cartoons marketed for adults. Both of the fathers are bumbling idiots. And that would be Peter Griffin and Homer Simpson. Bumbling idiots. When you look at most sitcoms, period, they usually always portray the father as being a bumbling idiot. You know what I'm talking about? The crazy part is on Family Guy, his wife is a whore. You know what I'm saying? So they set you up for this. I keep telling y'all, man, they got programming for white folks. They got programming for black folks. You know what I'm saying? They don't come at y'all different. Your cultural norms ain't the same. Your life experiences ain't the same. They can't come with the same programming for everybody. Indeed, and Quran just mentioned and make the mom out to be the reliable leader, the voice of reason and wisdom and sensibility. Which you should know that's the setup for you worshiping the mother goddess. You know what I'm saying? You got to know. When you know the games these people playing, you see it and you don't fall for it and you don't perpetuate it to your household. Oh, yeah. Now, see, Married with Children, the mother and the father was a bumbling idiot. But see this here, right? I wasn't that big of an idiot. If you actually watch the show, they portrayed him as an idiot, but he really wasn't no idiot. You know, Al Bundy was a man who was beaten down by being married to a woman that he ain't had no business being married to. You ever watched Married? It is absolutely hilarious. You know what I'm talking about? Oh man, you know, we watched it live when it came on TV. It was absolutely hilarious. You know, one of the beginning shows for Fox when they first got put on TV. But he married a town whore. And he was forced to marry a town whore at gunpoint because she came from a, small county. And they like, hey, you gonna marry her. So at the end of the day, this nigga just was married to a woman who didn't want to do nothing and drained all his money, and he was just miserable and a failure in life. Because only thing that he could have to go by is that he scored four touchdowns in a single game. You know what I'm saying? This nigga was selling shoes. This nigga got a job selling shoes in high school and was selling shoes as a 40-year-old man. Life never progressed. But you know what? That's the reality of life for the mass majority of people. People started at a company in their teens and they just still there. Not even a high-level company, man. There's a lady when we stayed around the way, man. She worked. Miss Janet worked at Burger King for over 30 years. She was working at Burger King when I was in middle school, and she was working in Burger King after I got out of prison. And that was 2009. You think she got up one day when she first went to fill that application and thought, you know what? I'll still be working at Burger King in 2006? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? This is how it happens, man. And I'm telling you, man, you got to make sure you be, especially as a man, you better make sure you're very purposeful and intentful on what it is you want to do, because you'll look up one day and you'll be like, damn, I'm 45. And I still dropping fries. Go get it done. With haste. Hebrews 9:15. And for this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death for the redemption of the transgressions under the first testament, they which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. For where a testament, there must also necessity be death of the testator. For a testament of force after men are dead, otherwise it is of no strength at all while the testator lived. Whereupon neither the first was dedicated without blood. For when Moses had spoken every precept to all the people according to the law, he took the blood of the calves and of goats with water and scarlet wool and hyssop and sprinkled both the book and the people, saying, this the blood of the testament which Elohim have adjoined unto you. Now let's take a look at what a testament is. Who told you to come back over here and sit down? Did I invite you to that chair? Why are you sitting in said chair? How you even get here? No, you're right. So It's diathemy. It's to arrange, to dispose of one affairs, to dispose of by will, to make a testament, to make a covenant, to enter into a covenant with one. Now let me tell you this here, right? Who died to enter into the first covenant for you? Y'all got any idea on here, man? No, it wasn't no bulls and goats, Quran. Yeah. The Egyptians' firstborns died for that covenant, for you to hit that covenant. So did. Somebody died. Some blood got shed now. The firstborn of the Egyptians died, and you entered into a covenant with Yahuah right after that. Let's come back to Psalms 116. Oh, you ain't got to apologize, bro. Wow. I just wanted to talk that's coming out of Psalms 116 to 5, talk about mercy. The creation of another covenant for mercy. That's right, the firstborn for the firstborn. That's how it goes down. Hey, man, sit still, man. Don't be in here playing in my kitchen, cuz. Sit your behind down. We'll get the dose. Slow down, son. It's okay. It's okay. Psalms 116 and 5. There you go. Gracious, Yahuah, and righteous, yea, are Elohim merciful. Yahuah preserved the simple. I was brought low and he helped me. I guess that's what people say, God look out for fools and babies. But God don't. I was talking to Jimmy about that. He said, you know God look out for fools and babies? I say, no, look out for neither. Because, you know, that's the saying with niggas. Yahuah ain't never said he looked out for babies because he told you the children of the wicked made for the sword. You know what I'm talking about? So it ain't no guarantee that he gonna look out for your baby. You can have babies and he can determine to want to kill your baby. That's what I was telling my man yesterday. He was talking about what her name is. How David married Abigail. And I'm like, he didn't do anything unrighteous in his dealings with Abigail. What ended up happening was Abigail wanted to not only spare her husband, that man said he was going to kill every man who lived there. That man said he was going to kill everybody that pissed against the wall. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody was going to die. Sometimes we don't even be considering that, boy. Your actions can get everybody killed, not just you. You know what I'm talking about? But let's look at what he means to preserve the simple. Because and I said that because he ain't preserved Nabal, because he said Nabal is his name and folly is with him. If he looked out for fools, Nabal would have been alive. Now, when you look at simple, and we didn't talk about this here before, right? Pathe, simplicity, naivety, foolish, open-minded, simple. More importantly, seducible. So when you look at it that he preserved or he guards the seducible, he keeps the seducible. How does he do that? Because remember, it tell you in what it is in Timothy, right? The evil men will wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. Also, what did he tell you in Matthew? That if it were possible, even the elect would be deceived. So he kind of used his word to guard your mind to keep you from being seducible. Because see, open-minded, you could be seducible. And then when people, you got to be more open-minded. No, I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be open-minded. I need to hear information and validate it. Being open-minded how to get you in trouble. Being open-minded how some of y'all started using drugs. I ain't necessarily saying hard drugs. I mean, marijuana is a drug. You know what I'm saying? You might not consider it to be a harsh drug, but it does change your nervous system up. So it's a drug nonetheless. Being open-minded, being naive and simple in the brain is how you ended up using it. Nigga, hit it, man, I'm telling you. It's going to make you feel good. Being open-minded how some of y'all got on alcohol. Some of y'all might have popped your Molly and went to sweating, being open-minded. Being open-minded is how you started participating in sexual activity before you were married. You know what I'm talking about? Being open-minded, how you skipped school and got caught, got a whooping later on. You got caught. I mean, but the open-minded come in when somebody present the choice that you weren't familiar with, and they seduced you with said choice because you had never done it before. Oh, I've seen niggas seduce niggas for skipping. Yeah, I done definitely seen niggas come up, man, we finna slide, bro. Come on, man. And sell it to you. Yeah, man. I'm talking about niggas sell it to you, man. We finna go over here to these hoes' house. We finna go over here. Hey, man, not even be for sex. Niggas just saying, oh, they really you going over there. You ain't finna do nothing but look. You know what I'm saying? Some of them niggas, you know what I'm talking about? Some of them, he might be going, that's his chick. He finna smash her. She got friends. He trying to get you to go over there and sit in there with her friend so he can do what he trying to do. Some of them be like, well, we finna go over to the whole house, but we finna smoke. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man, happen all the time. Being open-minded. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you got to be careful with the devil, because guess what he going around to do? Seduce. You better guard your grill. See, that's a wrestling punch. See, they don't even hurt. I ain't leave you with a potato. That was a little stiff right there. You good? Verse 6, Psalms 116. Yahuah preserved the simple. I was brought low, and he helped me. Return unto your rest, O my soul, for Yahuah have dealt bountifully with you. You have delivered my soul from death, my eyes from tears, and my feet from falling. I will walk before Yahuah in the land of the living. I believe, therefore have I spoken. I was greatly afflicted. And I said in my haste, all men liars. What shall I render unto Yahuah for all his benefits towards me? Let's look at benefits. First, let's look at render. So render is shuv. That is, what will you return? What will you give unto Yahuah for his benefits? What are benefits? Tag, move. Now, this is the only place that this word is used, and it means act of grace. I just want you to keep that in mind. It means act of grace, bestowment, benefit, act of grace. Tag, move. Tau, gamal, mean, and lamad. Tau, gamal, mean, and lamad. Where is my money? I don't have my wallet. Where is my money? Don't make a fool of me, bro. Don't make a fool of me. Hey, you got till 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. Oh, I was giving y'all a chance to pick 5 o'clock. Oh, that's funny to you? Where's my money? Yeah, you. You. With the cheese on your face. Oh, were you pointing? Where's my money, little boy? Little boy. You laughing? You got till 5 o'clock. So if we're going to look at Tau, right, clearly we're going to take covenant. But what would you say for Gamal? I don't think you want to say pathway or foot. I don't think you want to do that. Oh, yeah, man. What time you going out there tomorrow, man? To the house.
So I ain't at the store, so I gotta see. I don't know. I have to order the store.
Yeah, because he's trying to see, but he's tomorrow. So we done did everything else we had to do out there. Or you can just ride and use what you got. So you can say messenger, the covenant of the messenger. Quran got the Ruach will pair you to the way of the shepherd's covenant. You know what I'm saying? And indeed it is. So You have means, so you can say the blood, and you've been secured to the shepherd by his blood. You know what I'm talking about? And because you've been secured to the shepherd by his blood, it has allowed you to receive the message of the covenant, or even the gift of the covenant, or to lift you up to the covenant. You know what I'm saying? Or to gather you to the covenant. However you want to use it. That's why you see that. That's why you see the text steady talking about what are you going to do for all the grace that he done shown. And look what verse 13 say. I will take the cup of salvation and call upon the name of Yahuah. So, of course, what is that cup of salvation? That cup allows you to what? For the remission of sins. That's what it tells you. Then he says, I will pay my vows unto Yahuah now in the presence of all his people. Precious in the sight of Yahuah, the death of his saints. Oh, Yahuah, truly, your servant, the son of your handmaid, you have loosened my bonds. I will offer to you the sacrifice of thanksgiving, and I will call upon the name of Yahuah. Again, for thanksgiving, of course, that is Todah, that is praise, that is thanksgiving and worship, or a hymn of praise, a thank offering, a sacrifice of thanksgiving. Oh, see, we got the blood of the shepherd to pay you to the covenant. Very well, sir. So let's take a look at something back. Let's go back to Leviticus 2, because that's where we was at yesterday. Man, you Nelly in here? Or you got beat up? You ain't ducked that hook, huh? You ain't listen to Cool Breeze, did you? You ain't watched for the hook. You better start bobbing and weaving. You the one got the Band-Aid on your face. So how your face get scratched? So you just said all that and said nigga punched you in your cheek and it swallowed up. Yeah, that's exactly what it was, a story. Leviticus 2 and 7. No, I wasn't there. 2 and 9, because I ain't reading all that. And the priest shall take from the meat offering a memorial thereof, and shall burn upon the altar an offering made by fire, a sweet savor unto Yahuah. And that which is left of the meat offering, Aaron's and his sons, a thing most kadosh of the offerings of Yahuah made by fire. No meat offering which you shall bring unto Yahuah shall be made with leaven. For you shall burn no leaven nor honey in any offering of Yahuah made by fire. As the oblation of the fruits, you shall offer them unto Yahuah, but they shall not be burnt on the altar for a sweet savor. Notice what he said, the oblation of the what? First fruits. Well, let's look at what an oblation is for those who don't know. This is a sacrificial present. It is korban. Kuf, Rosh, Bat, and Nun. What is your first fruits? For those who don't know, of course, this is Rashid. That is the first. That is the beginning. That is the best. Now, ask yourself this question. He says the first fruit shall be offered unto Yahuah, but not on the altar for a sweet savor. Why would it say that? What could you refer this to? Why are you spitting on my floor? Remain still. Dang, who punched you in your head? Hey, sit still, bro. Hey, stay still. Stay still. You thinking somebody playing. Stay still, man. Chill out. Relax. Nobby need little boy. Y'all ain't figured that out yet? Come over here. Come here, Joanne. Come here. Come on. Come on. Joanne. Come on. Come on. Come over here to Revelation 14. I'll be there in a second. Give me a second. Revelation 14:1. Where you think you're going? Where you think you're going? Huh? Little baby. Where you think you're going? You say those that are awakened at the first resurrection? And that ain't a bad answer. 14:1. Revelation. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his Abba's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from Shamahim, as the voice of many waters, as the voice of great thunder. I heard the voice of harpers harping with the harps. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he go. Dang, that jump is not on the page, because that page is gone. You read my book, cuz? You read my book? You did it, man. So 5 o'clock. These were redeemed from among men, the first fruits under Elohim and to the Lamb, and there was no, and in their mouth was found no guile, for they were without fault before the throne of Elohim. Now, like I said, right, the part of the first resurrection is not a bad answer. Let's take a look at that, Revelation 20. But we went to the Revelation 14 first because it said these are the first fruits of the earth. They're not put upon the altar. And you know how we're going to recognize that? We'll see after I read this Revelation 20. We'll take a backtrack real quick. Like Revelation chapter 20, you can make it verse 1. And I saw a Malachim come down from Shamahim, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the serpent, that old serpent, which is the devil and Hashatan, and bowed him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years were finished, or years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, and the word of Elohim, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither received mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with a Mashiach 1,000 years. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This, the first resurrection. Baruch and Kadash, he that have part in the first resurrection. On such the second death have no power. They shall be the priests of Elohim and of the Mashiach, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. Now remember, right, I tell you that a Mashiach, Paul wrote that a Mashiach was the first fruits of them that slept. You got Romans 8 when he talked about the first fruit. But that Revelation 14 is different because he said these are the first fruits redeemed under Elohim, did it not? Now, why is that important? What he said you couldn't do with that offering of them first fruits. Couldn't put them on the altar. Now, why is that important? Come to Revelation 7 with those who beheaded. Revelation chapter 7. Verse 9. And I beheld, lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations, kindreds, and people, tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our Elohim which sit upon the throne and unto the Lamb. And the Malachim stood round about the throne, and the elders and the four beasts fell before the throne on their faces and worshipped Elohim, saying, Amen, Baruch, and esteem, and wisdom, thanksgiving, honor, power, and might, unto our Elohim forever and ever. Amen. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes? Where came they? And I said unto him, Sir, you know. He said to me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, which have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. See, those in Revelation 20, they went through a little heat. They got sacrificed on that altar. That's why they can't be the first fruits. That 144,000, them the first fruits. Because remember, first, when you have a harvest to bring in, you got the first fruits, and then you got fruits that come after that. Them 144 is them first fruits, and then there's fruits that come after that. You know what I'm talking about? And that first 144, are you not offering on that altar for no offering to me? That's a gift that comes straight to me. That would have said it. Let's go back and look at it. Verse 12. Leviticus 2 and 12. As for the oblation of the first fruits, you shall offer them unto Yahuah. And that would have said they got redeemed. They got offered straight up to the Father, off the top. No hesitation. No pass go. Ain't no offering. Ain't no putting them on no, we ain't doing none of that with them. You know, it's another spot in Ezra with that. Are you aware? Are you aware? You is? Who told you? Nobody? Well, how you know? No, let's go look at Ezra. Huh? What did you say, son? Oh, I thought you had something to say. Ezra chapter 7, verse 23. Whatsoever is commanded by the Elohim and Shamahim, let it be diligently done. For the house of Elohim of Shamahim, for why should there be wrath against the realm of the king and his sons? Also, we certify you that touching any of the priests and Levites, singers, porters, Nethinims, or ministers of the house of Elohim, it shall not be lawful to impose toll, tribute, or custom upon them. Now that made me think something. That made me wonder, did they use that over here in America to justify not taxing churches? I'm not saying that they did use that. It just makes me wonder. Just me. Hey, children, I need y'all to hush your mouth. Y'all talking about nothing. I don't give a damn what y'all talking about. I don't want to hear it. Keep it to yourself. Talk to your inside parts. Talk to the Lord, but don't talk out loud. First things first, I want y'all to hear certify. Certify is Yah, which is to know, to let someone know, to communicate, or to inform. But I really came here so y'all can hear some of these job positions. It's been a while since we talked about it. Y'all know what a singer is, right? What's a singer, Bird? That is Zammar, and that is literally an instrumental musician. So not somebody who's singing out loud, but somebody who's playing upon the string instrument. What is a porter, Jeremiah James Bird? I'm going to tell you. A tarah, a doorkeeper. You a keeper of the door? All right. That's a whole nother deal right there, because you could look at anybody who got the gospel of Yahushua as a doorkeeper. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day. Then you got Nethinims. What is that? And that is Nethim, and that is a temple slave assigned to the Levites and priests for service in the sanctuary. So that means that's somebody whose total job was to do what the Levites told him to do. You know how many niggas that have a problem with that? I ain't nobody temple slave. Well, you got a job to do, boy. Your job is to work for the Levites and do what you told. A lot of people don't want to hear that. I ain't doing nothing for them niggas. Nigga can't tell me what to do. He's the boss of me. I'm a man. Hold on, y'all. I lost my vibe. Now let's look at toll, tribute, and custom. Y'all should already know that. That's right. It was in my brain. I just didn't say it out loud. But that's the songs that Quran just mentioned, that I'd rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my Elohim. That's what David said. Y'all know about that? Or you ain't know about that? Go ahead and give me 12 push-ups. Ain't no back end, because Paul, I don't do nothing on the back end. I need you to go ahead and drop the push-ups. I don't nothing on the back end. I ain't said it was, but either way it go, you got me on the back. I don't even like how that sound. We don't do no Hershey highways over here. No back door. I need 12. Man, that wasn't a request. No, your son don't owe me 12. Psalm 84. You owe the 12. You the dog, nigga. Now do the push-ups. Look at you in there. He can teach you how to do it with perfect form. You'll be strong in no time. We don't believe you because you ain't did them yet. Nigga can't ride a bicycle. We don't know if you can do push-ups. You said that 3 summers ago.
I am for real.
Well, you might as well get out there with Muffin, and y'all can fall off the bike together. See, Muffin's scared. You be scared too.
I just put you in ego.
I am going to.
That nigga Bird laughing at you. You say my cousin can't even ride no bicycle. I can ride a bicycle. You can ride a bicycle? Then what you laughing for? He laughing. He can't even ride no bicycle. How many of y'all in here you can ride a bicycle? Nigga, you can't ride no bicycle. You can't ride no bicycle. I don't know. You look like you used to ride. You look like you used to beat the churn up and take their bicycle. Huh? You got a bicycle in the garage?
I don't.
Oh yeah, Psalms 84. That's what I forgot. Psalms 84. Psalms 84 and 8. Matter of fact, make it 4. I can drive a car, but you can't ride a bicycle.
I can swim. Hey, you can. And that'll save my life.
I ain't got to go in the water. It's a multitude of people can't swim. It ain't a multitude of adults that can't ride a bicycle. Now, I can save my life also by not going to the beach.
You don't know what happened.
Well, if it's a flash flood, you dead anyway. You know what I'm talking about? That's why it's called flash, because you out of here in a flash. You know what I'm talking about? There's going to be a lot of water coming. You good and done. You know what I'm talking about? You just be like them people in the movies when the tsunami movie, when they seen all that water, you didn't know you dead.
You might be at a pool party.
What am I be at a pool party for? Nigga, I'm old.
You might. That's what I'm saying. Somebody might push you, you might trip and fall.
I might be the nigga to push.
And you're going to be the nigga to go to hell, because I'm going to make sure that I drown so you can go to hell for murder. You know what I'm talking about?
Make sure you drown.
Yes. You call it what you want. But I'm gonna make sure I go under the hall with my mouth open. I'm gonna open up my mouth. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna die. Nah, don't save me. Save money for your lawyer. You going to jail, nigga.
You hear what he said? About that, don't save me.
Nah, I didn't jump in there. I'm not required to fight to stay alive. You shouldn't have pushed me in there. Straight up. Push me in some water, you going to jail. I mean that. Psalms 84 and 4. He said, Baruch are they that dwell in your house. They will still be praising you. Baruch is the man whose strength is in you, in whose heart the ways. Notice what this man say. This man say, blessed the man whose strength is in you. Now, we just talked about that a couple days ago. You know, trust in Yahuah, that's everlasting strength. We talked about that in regards to strength probably about a month or so ago. That man said, you blessed if you got faith. And if your mind is in his way of living. That's why I told you that about whoredom. Whoredom is rebellion first and foremost. I don't want you sitting around here thinking whoredom is about some chick popping a handstand with a vagina. Because that's just a part of it. I'm telling you this because a lot of you know whores and they ain't out here like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not out here sexually promiscuous. And you know female whores and you know male whores. Because when you're dealing with the word, yes, you know what I'm talking about. Zamra is dealing with a female harlot first, but it's unfaithful to Elohim. And whoredom in the context, and when you see it in the text, it's not regulated to gender. It's about your level of faithfulness. And if you don't have a heart that's in the ways of Elohim, and you not blessed. If your lab is not in the Darak, you damned, you not blessed. And what are his ways? His ways are Kadash. His ways are faith. His ways are justice. His ways are judgment. His ways are mercy. His ways are graciousness. His ways are long suffering. If you ain't in that, you going to hell. You know what I'm talking about? Because the opposite of blessed is cursed, is it not? It's just something to consider. You ain't got to like it, but you going to respect it. You ain't got to like nothing I said because it don't matter to me. Ain't none of my word. I didn't scribe it. I didn't inspire it. I ain't come up with it. It was here before I was born. It's going to be here after I'm dead. Listen to the next thing the man say. Passing through the valley of Baca, make it a well. The rain also filled the pools. They go from strength to strength. And Zion appear before Elohim. O Yahuah Elohim of hosts, hear my prayer. Give ear, O Elohim of Jacob, Selah. Behold, our Elohim, our shield. And look upon the face of your anointed for a day in your courts, better than 1,000. I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my Elohim than to dwell in the tents of wickedness. For Yahuah Elohim, a son and a shield, Yahuah will give grace and esteem. No good thing will he withhold from them that walk uprightly. Oh, Yahuah of hosts, Baruch is the man that trusts in you. See, you notice that this man said there's nothing that he will withhold for anybody who walk upright. You know what I'm saying? That's why those who walk upright have no problem giving the sacrifice of Torah or the Zabak of Torah. They don't have a problem with that. Let's continue back to Ezra chapter 7. Oh, let me get you the toll, the tribute, and the custom and all that good old stuff right there. Custom is hak, and that is a custom, a toll, a tribute, a duty, toll on goods at a road. You know, we got a lot of custom out here. Clearly, when you get on 295, there's plenty of toll road for you. They say bump a little machine to collect it. We just gonna screen your tag. Lay that, son, you stinking hoe. What is tribute? That is, of course, tribute on articles consumed. That's taxing. That's Belo. You know that. You've been paying sales tax all your life. Ain't nothing new under the sun. I think I got them all. Oh, and toll. Midah, which is another tribute, and that's tax. Got to pay them taxes, man. So that's just so you know that taxes ain't a new thing. He just was letting it be known when it came to the priests and those who worked in the house of God that no tax could be levied against them. That's why I say I wonder if that's the case, if that came from, if that's why they do that in America, with churches not being taxed. Because look at it, right? I remember at I was in Home Depot a long time ago, man, about a couple years back, and I was bringing something back, and I was telling me I got a slide because I got a priest tonight. They were like, they were telling me I could set up everything in my Home Depot account under a non-profit and not pay a dime. I'm like, ain't none of this stuff got nothing to do with no ministry business whatsoever. Like, depending on what it is, if you in the ministry and you tell people that, you will literally not be taxed on anything that got anything to do with that. You know what I'm saying? That's why when a lot of people be screaming about 501c3, a lot of them really don't know about that stuff because niggas think that junk just for churches when really it's just a non-profit organization, period. You don't get taxed. Yeah, and you got to ring no tax on that register. I ain't never seen it, but I've been told. Because you know they'll let that be known, like, hey, you know, them church people come in here, man, you work the rest. Good general managers will tell you that. It's so rare to happen that most of them don't tell you that because it's not a common occurrence. Yeah, man. I mean, man, look here, right? You would have to be careful because you'll go to prison. But some of them will walk around with them doggone cars everywhere they go and everything they pay for. Bomb. Ain't nobody gonna question you. Cause nigga, I didn't bring that up at Home Depot. They told me like, nigga, we been in the box to throw away trash. They're like, yeah, you ain't got penalty tax. You set it up like this, you ain't got penalty tax. We can do it for you. You know what I'm talking about? Cause they were like, nigga, you come in here so much, bump that junk. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, look here, put it to you this way, right? This is something that most people don't know, but I'll tell you this here, right? You set up a 501c3 nonprofit organization. It's no different than setting up a corporation. You know what I'm saying? So you can have a CEO, a CFO, board members, and every person that is on those articles that somebody could pull up on Sunbiz, they can walk around with a no tax card and buy anything they want and don't pay no sales tax on it. Card, it don't even matter. See, that ain't just, some people think, oh, that's just for the pastor. Oh, no, that's for everybody on the board. You know what I'm saying? That's for everybody who is on the articles of incorporation paperwork. They can get one, they ain't got to pay. But see, the average person don't know that. You know what I'm talking about? They just thinking, you work for the government. Well, you big dummy. Everybody work for the government. If you take that approach, you got a Social Security card. You file taxes every year. Hell, I got to renew my driver's license. I ain't never had to do that before. Because every other time I was in prison. I was in prison last time. That done was just, hey, here's a new one for you when you come home. Because how long you get 7 years? How long they do it before they make you renew it?
You know what?
I guess not. They said they would issue the either way it go. It say it expired this year. They sent me a letter for it. I just got to do it on this. So what? Come on, y'all. Back to chapter 7, verse 25, book of Ezra. And you, Ezra, after the wisdom of your Elohim that is in your hand, set magistrates and judges, which may judge all the people that beyond the river. All as such as know the laws of Elohim, teach you them that know not. And whosoever will not do the law of Elohim and the law of the king, let judgment be executed speedily upon him, whether it be under death or banishment, confiscation of goods, or to imprisonment. Notice what he said now. You know, that take you to something deeper later on down the line. That man said, anybody who don't want to listen to the law of God or the king, let him be killed or go to jail. And let you lose everything you got. Hey, man, cut it out while I'm trying to work, bro. I don't want to hear that crap. I don't care nothing about that. You're not going to disrespect me here. Get yourself together. Get yourself together. Who do you think you're talking to? Get up and go in the back. Get from back here. Get from over here. Oh, hard-headed boy. You want some of this? You want some of this, boy? Oh, ain't nobody finna do that. You want some? You want some of this? What you want? You want to go? Ain't nobody scared of you, Ruth. Nobody scared of you. Verse 27, Ezra 7. Baruch Yahuah Elohim of our fathers, which have put as this in the king's heart to beautify the house of Yahuah, which in Jerusalem, and he extended mercy unto him before the king and his council, Yahuah Elohim upon me, and I gathered men. Well, let's take a look at this back in I think we might have. You know what's funny? You know how they feel about fathers? They made the month where Father's Day is the month for sisters. Ain't that about something? Somebody can walk by you and say Happy Father's Day and say Happy Gay Day on top of it. Happy Gay Mothers. There's a whole bunch of studs sitting in a line, and one of the studs responded to him, told me, I could be a better man than you ever could be. And that hoe had a mustache. You know what's funny? I seen the stud say something. She was like, see, I listen to women. This, that, there, and the third. And it was funny that studs really believe that what makes a man is his interaction with a woman. That's how you know that they don't know nothing about what it is to be a man. Because you think everything about being a man is interacting with a woman. Oh, no, it go past that. Before you even get a woman, you got to be a man. A woman don't make you a man no more than the sky make you outside. Because you can see the sky right now and you in the house. You know what I'm saying? You can have penis and some balls and you ain't no man. It was. That's how tough it is to think just because you get a haircut and cut your titties off, you know what I'm talking about, and take some hormones and you grow a little faint goatee, that you a man. Faint. Yes, faint. It's light. It's light on the lip. You know what I'm saying? A little light. They got pee for it. You's a whole girl. You have a menstrual cycle. I seen a sissy. This nigga walking around. I mean, well, I guess he's not a sissy. So it's a woman walking around with titty tape on. I can walk outside with my nipples. You can't. They was in the house with titty tape on?
Yeah, I did. Estimate she had a tank top and you see the tape.
You know what would have been funny? That bulldog would have came in here and said, now here's a little extra for your estimate. Because you know they still be messing with men. That's one of the biggest lies you would ever find out. In all.
So your boy Bruce like stuff? You know Bruce?
Shoot, Bruce like everything.
Katie Sweet.
Man, Bruce old, man. Bruce hit anything. You know what I'm saying? That monkey work, Bruce cool with it. The boy, when we was in there with that doggone, what you call it, that squatter, when we was on Tyler Street, Bruce said, this is what I tell you, I say, Bruce, don't you do it. When you touch that vagina, boy, you're not coming back. You know what I'm saying? Baby in here like, I'm talking about, she walking up and down the street. She walking down Tyler, nigga, with drawers on. And Jimmy like this. I remember her from back in the day, she used to be fine. She ain't fine no more. Because this ain't back in the day. This whole crack. You know what I'm talking about? And she in here tricking. And Bruce like, well, I'm going to get it. I said, don't do it. Please don't do it. Man, Bruce a pervert. He don't care. You know what I'm talking about? Man, we done been in houses and found pornos and all that type of stuff. And fleets, them boy definitely done grab them and slid them to the house. I'm like, boy, y'all don't know where this stuff been, man. You ain't run no ultraviolet light on top of it or nothing. You don't know what's on there. Yeah, man, we was in the house, but the boy said, boy, we done hit the load. I'm like, what you done found? This boy done pulled out. Man, I don't give a damn about that. You tell me when you find some money. Nigga, we done been in the house, we ain't never found no money. Jimmy always be in the house looking for money. I'd be like, man, let's throw this trash away. Damn, looking for ain't no trash in this. Ain't no money in this house. Did you see this house? This house is disgusting. We did find some money in one. Well, I did. You know what I'm talking about? You damn right, I can't.
We found some. I did.
I mean, shoot, them niggas wasn't with me. It's not like we found it as a collective. Nigga, we trashing out a house. What you supposed to be like? Oh, I don't know. That ain't got nothing to do with them. Them niggas don't say, hey, I found a TV in here and say you want it. Them niggas like, I'm taking this home. That's how the niggas move. Well, shoot, I wasn't looking for no money. I just happened to be taking the trash off the dresser and shoot, $180 cash fell out with it. I said, well, there's that. You know what I'm talking about? Just happened to be the one in that room. Cause boy, them niggas take everything. It damn sure a mattress that I let Civic convince me to take. It's in the box. Go look, it's in the room. I'm dead serious. It's in the box. No, you can get it. You give me $20. Now that's the purpose why I got it, but I ain't never posted. I ain't never posted. $20. Nah, that junk right there on the when you walk in the garage, that junk is a brand new mattress. In the matter of fact, in the very house I found $180 in. That's where it came from. Because matter of fact, that's how Michael got the air fryer. That's where that air fryer came from. At that same house, that junk was brand new in the box. I mean, it was an old lady house, man. The lady had Alzheimer's. I mean, she was a pack rat, but shoot, didn't give a damn how the house looked. Nigga, that thing was brand new in the box. Nigga, she was an old home shopping network QVC type person, just buying stuff. That lady literally had like 4-5 air fryers in the box. That air fryer right there behind that bag. Nah, shoot. Probably did. Civic, I got one. Civic took one. He gave one of the doors. Look at her trying not to look. Yeah, he loved me. Well, it wasn't that. When Civic, that nigga say, shoot, man, these in the box, bro. You better take one home. That nigga say, I'm finna give this one to Michael, and I'm finna take this one home. Yeah, it was like 4-5 of them. It was like 4-5 of them. He talking about, Civic talking about, don't put him on that. But you the one found him. Man, that's a once in a lifetime deal. I got them refrigerators still in there. I ain't found nobody to buy them home.
You got a refrigerator?
It's 2 refrigerators in there.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, his mama got that oven.
Oh, we do have a
Nigga, it's 2 refrigerators in there. It's a microwave in there. Man, you can give me I'll give you $50. I've been wanting to get that fridge. It's 2 free. Go in there and look.
You get a refrigerator.
No, this is what happened. I was doing business with a dude who renovate houses for hedge funds. He was like, hey, you can go grab the appliances because they don't want them. You know what I'm saying? And you could try to offer them. But, man, I couldn't keep up as far as what I had going on and then go over there and go get them. So that kind of went down the drain. But that's where that came from. I'm talking about most of them, man. I sold a fridge and the oven. But for y'all, I get to you half what I sold to the regular people. I mean, it cost me money to get it here. Yeah, big old fridge in there, man. You come back $50. That's brand new mattress in a box. $20, nigga. You had that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely probably a good $100 mattress for a nigga on the street. Probably in the store, she probably paid about $400 or $500. What was that? Revelation 14? Nah, I ain't doing all that. I almost had found that stuff I sent you, but my mans was trying to sell it. That furniture I put in there. Yeah, it depends on the house, man. The air house don't be that good. Yeah, but that's the thing. I ain't got time to put it on marketplace. I don't want a nigga coming to my house, and I ain't trying to bring it to you. All right. All right. Now, is she coming to get it? Because if I got to deliver it, that's another $50. Oh, I don't want it.
So he want no tips. I got the tips.
Come on, man. Revelation 15:1, man. I don't even think that's what I want. I don't know if that's what I want. Hold on, I don't think that's what I want. Yeah, I just want that junk out the garage, man. Hold on, y'all, because I don't think that's what I want. I think, yeah, we read it already. Let's come on back to Leviticus. No, it ain't about friends, man. I mean, it's only fair because it cost me money to get it here. Because it was like 4 fridges in there. I sold 2 of them. And it was a stove. And it's a small microwave in there. Anybody want a microwave, you can just take that whole with you.
How much the microwave? When you sell the microwave, I just want to
For you to pick it up and take it to your car. Bernadette was supposed to buy it to put it in one of her rentals, but she ain't never called. Because that's the only reason why I grabbed them. It was for, I know all these people. And this, that, and the third, but it's a microwave. Come on, Leviticus 2 and 12. As for the oblation of the first fruits, you shall offer them unto Yahuah, but they shall not be burnt on the altar for a sweet savor. And every oblation of your meat offering shall you season with salt. Notice how we were talking about that salt? And what's the name? Got to see if you ain't making no offering season, because he said it. Also, let's look at it. Luke 14. That gave me a headache. 14 and 33, Luke. Keep it 100%, Jeremiah James. Huh? You saw that? So likewise, whosoever be of you that forsake not all that he had cannot be my disciple. Salt good. But if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be seasoned? It's neither fit for the land, nor yet for the dunghill. Men cast it out. He that have ears, let him hear. So when you're dealing with that sacrifice, it's got to be seasoned with salt. If it ain't seasoned with salt, it ain't no good. I think it's another one in Matthew. I won't come around that to, I think, Matthew 7. Not Matthew 5, actually. Matthew 5 and then Mark 9. Matthew 5, then Mark 9. Matthew 5 and 13. Stinks. 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 Matthew 5 and 13. You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under the foot of men. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and give light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and esteem your Abba, which is in Shamahim. Now, I'm going to mention something that I seen my man's had shared this here because people were arguing about it. It was some black chick. She took a coworker out on a date. You know what I'm saying? No sloppy body white dude, whatever the case may be. He said he couldn't get no one. But somebody in there was like, man, that whole wrong. Somebody was like, well, this is, and he used a scenario about like when people record themselves doing good stuff for the Pope. And they were like, well, nigga, if you was going to do it, why don't you just... See, people think that if you show good deeds on the internet, that this will provoke other people to do good deeds versus what? Because I had a conversation with somebody. It was like, you should put it on Facebook. You doing this in the name of Yahuah. How you going to let your good work shine? Why are you trying to let your good work shine for people who not even in your city? You ain't letting no good work shine, nigga. You's a goofy is what you is. You know what I'm talking about? Because what you did that to help that man's self-esteem. You just ruined it by putting it on the internet saying this get no date, and you gave him a pity date. And then people go, oh, he gonna get any women now from this. None of these women gonna like him. I had a young lady mention that to me the other day. She said, sometimes you can grow in love. Man, nobody want no woman that he pursued that grew to like him. That's pity coochie. Don't nobody want that. That's not going to be an enjoyable situation for him. But it's the same thing by doing something for the Pope. If you was going to do something for the Pope, you letting your light shine from everybody who saw you do it. See, like when you seen Mashiach heal people, he didn't have to broadcast it. It said he didn't seek no fame. He increased in favor with God and man based off what he did because the people saw it. Like the book tell about being a good. How can you be a good report of a nigga in Maryland? Yeah, man, I seen the nigga. He put up 3 videos feeding the homeless. But you in Florida. Use your brain. It don't make sense. Let's continue. Oh, that's good. That's good. I read what I wanted to read. Come over, Mark 9. Mark 9. You been to Brooklyn 199? Oh, I thought you been over there. You ain't never been over there?
No.
You sure? I see you around that old cuz. Mark 9:43. If your hand offends you, cut it off. For it is better for you to enter into life maimed than to having 2 hands to go to hell, into the fire that shall never be quenched, where the worm dies not and the fire is not quenched. And if your foot offends you, cut it off. For it is better for you to enter into life than to having 2 feet to be cast into hell, into the fire that shall never be quenched, where the worm died not and the fire shall not be quenched. If your eye offends you, pluck it out. For it is better for you to enter into the Malkuth of Elohim with 1 eye than to having 2 eyes to be cast into hellfire, where the worm dies not and the fire shall not be quenched. For everyone shall be salted with fire, and every sacrifice shall be salted with salt. Salt good, but if the salt has lost its saltness, wherewith will you have to season it? Have salt in yourselves and shalom one with another. What do you think this means to have salt in yourself? To have salt in yourself. Some of y'all got a lot of salt in you. Sodium levels high. Your sodium levels high? You know what sodium is? So how you know if your sodium level's high? You don't even know. You don't know or you don't even know? What do you know?
Nothing that you're talking about.
Nothing. What?
Nothing that you're talking about.
But what do you know?
Nothing that you're talking about.
But what do you know? You don't know nothing? I know you better have my money and 5 o'clock. That's 55 minutes. You better get my money then.
I can't go home and drive my own self.
My own self? Well, I can't drive myself.
I can't drive myself all the way home.
Why not?
Oh, I don't driving.
You don't even have no.
I don't have to drive.
You don't have no what? I'm not talking to you, so why are you interjecting?
I don't have no driver's license.
You don't have a driver's license? Y'all have any idea what that means to have salt within yourselves? Let's go look back at that Hebrew word for salt real quick. Remember, it's malak, mean, lamad, and kat. So what would you say for that? Mean, lamad, and kat. Quran said to have the ability to add benefit to others around you who don't have the knowledge of Yahuah yet. And I like it. That's his answer of what it means to have salt within yourself. And I can dig it. Let me finish reading verse 13 and Leviticus chapter 2. Every oblation of your meat offering shall you season with salt. Neither shall you suffer the salt of all your offerings shall you offer salt. Notice that this man said that the salt of your covenant, don't let that be lacking. Let's take a look at that. Of course, that's salt. That's the word for salt. And of course, it's malak, berith is for the salt of your covenant. So remember, right? Shayla say by showing the fruits of the spirit. But notice that every sacrifice got to have salt in it. So if you got mean, lamad, and kot, of course you've been separated by the ruach of the shepherd, or separated by the blood of the covenant of the shepherd. And what is the elements of that covenant? Matthew 23 and 23. Baby Joanne. Because it goes back to what we were reading in Psalms 116, and elements of the fruits of the spirit are contained in that also. And I mentioned obviously Matthew 23 and 23 earlier. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you pay tithe of mint, anise, and cumin, and have omitted the weightier of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These you ought to have done, and to not leave the other undone. See, let's take a look at another thing. 1 Samuel 15. Don, I see you. You look like you being a baby. 1 Samuel 15 and 22. Samuel said, have Yahuah delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices, as in obeying the voice of Yahuah? Behold, to obey better than sacrifice, and to hearken the fat of rams. Now, every sacrifice, he told you need to offer yourself as a what? A living sacrifice, and you also offering up what? Sacrifices on a spiritual altar acceptable to Elohim. And every one of these offerings got to have salt. So when you got the salt of the covenant, well, what is the salt of the covenant? Mashiach is the salt of the covenant. Mashiach got to be in every sacrifice. If we look at them characters, that mean, lamad, and that kot, because you need to be separated to the shepherd. Whether it's his blood or whether it's his ruach, you got to be separated by him. Let's go back to Leviticus. Look at what he said again. Notice that the law say every sacrifice, every gift, every present got to have salt. See, remember, just going back to that, because remember what we read in Ezra, all the things that he said the priests had to have to do their job. He said they needed wheat, they needed salt, they needed wine, they needed oil. To perform the duties in the temple to make them sacrifices, you got to have all of that. You know what I'm talking about? So we're just looking at it on the spiritual aspect of what it would mean to have all of that. If you're talking about making sacrifices, because the man word is still the word. Let's look at what it said again. Verse 13 of Leviticus chapter 2. Every oblation of your meat offering shall you season with salt. Neither shall you suffer the salt of the covenant of your Elohim to be lacking from your meat offering. So notice, right? You can't come in and make no sacrifice to this man if it's not according to the salt of the covenant that's already been done. Remember what we read in Hebrews 9, that even the first covenant was not enjoined without blood. You're not finna come and you just gonna offer this man anything. That's not how that works. He said, with all your offerings shall you offer salt. That's why he said, if the salt done lost its savor, it ain't no good. He gonna throw it out. It's not useful to me. So if this person hasn't separated themselves to this man covenant, to his shepherd, to his leader, you're useless to him. And you know why you're useless to him? Because you ain't did what we read in that Psalms when he said in Psalms 116, he said, what shall I do for all the acts of grace that he's done towards me? That's the least you can do. Let's finish this Leviticus 2, man, and then we'll get to this Thanksgiving thing. I forgot how we got to Leviticus 2 in the first place, but I just know we was there. Verse 14, and if you offer a meat offering of your first fruits unto Yahuah, you shall offer the meat offering of your first fruits, green ears of corn dried by fire, corn beaten out of full ears. And you shall put oil upon it, and lay frankincense thereon, a meat offering. And the priest shall burn the memorial of it, the beaten corn thereof, the oil thereof, with all the frankincense thereof, an offering made by fire unto Yahuah. Now I want you to look at verse 14 and think about that. He said green ears of corn dried by fire and corn beaten of full ears.
It's just a mind for me to talk.
I'm gonna give you the words for beaten. So corn beaten out, one whole word. So it's garesh, a crushing, that which is crushed. Grains, grits, groats. Yeah, because y'all did that. Them niggas ate some grits this morning. They're disgusting. You want no ground up. You niggas love corn. That's what it is, garesh. Let me give you them characters one more time. Oh. Gamal, Raj, and Shan. It means a crushing. Grits. You like grits, boy? You look like you like grits. You look like you like everything. You don't like everything? What you don't like? What you don't like, Bird? Well, I got to be weird because I don't want no grits, nigga. How's that weird, nigga? That joint trash.
You got clean grits.
Say what?
Clean grits.
Cleaning grits.
You got clean grits.
What I don't it's so salt. Eggs.
You don't like eggs?
Salt.
You don't like salt eggs?
Salty.
Who? Your mama giving you them salty eggs?
Sometimes I cook some salty.
Oh, Saya cooked them salty eggs.
What you speaking?
Oh, you good, you good, you good. Let's take a look at something in Lamentations chapter 1. This forth is being crushed. Lamentations chapter 1. I don't want to read all this, but we'll see. Verse 1. Nah, you good, bro. Man, ain't nobody asked you for that information. Lamentations 1:1. How do the city sit solitary, full of people? She's become as a widow. She great among the nations, princess among the provinces. She's become a tributary. She weeps sore in the night, and her tears on her cheeks among all her lovers. She have none to comfort. All her friends have dealt treacherously with her. They have become her enemies. So, of course, you know Yahuah wept in the night. You know what I'm talking about? Why y'all over here talking about nothing? Sit down. He had tears on his cheeks. He wept for his people because all his lovers, none of them there was to comfort. They all left him. And everybody at the house of Yasharal dealt treacherously with him. You know what that is? That's begod. That's to be deceitful. Verse 3, Yahudah is gone into captivity because of affliction, because of great servitude. She dwell among the heathen. She find no rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the straits. What does it mean to be between the straits? That means distress, trouble, vexing. So, of course, when you see that, you know that he went into captivity. What is captivity by definition? Exile. Exile. You've been separated. That was your song when you were young? You sing it in the car real loud? Mm-hmm. Right here, Galah is the word for captivity. Is to uncover, to remove, to go into exile, to uncover oneself. Nakedness, to carry away into exile, to reveal oneself. All you would need to do is go in there in that Obadiah when it said, "I'll lift up your skirts." You went into captivity. You've been exposed. Your sins are shown. And it said he went into captivity because of affliction. Well, what is affliction here? Onai, which is poverty, misery, affliction. So remember, and we talked about that as forth as that the people groaning in Egypt. All these things went down. This man went into captivity because of your misery, because of your poverty, because he made himself poor so you might be rich. Let's continue. Of course, he dwelt among the heathen, and he didn't find no rest, and then his persecutors overtook him between the straits. The ways of Zion do mourn, because none come to the solemn feast. All her gates are desolate, her priests sigh, her virgins afflicted, and she in bitterness. Her adversaries are the chief, her enemies prosper. You who have afflicted her for the multitude of her transgressions. Her children are gone into captivity before the enemy. See, I always have to keep referencing that for people who don't know. Captivity does not mean necessarily that you're going to get chattel slavery that you've seen in America. Captivity in this book means you separated from God, because you were not in chattel slavery in Babylon, but you was in captivity. You know what I'm talking about? Now, see, when it come to being in captivity in Egypt, if you would, that wasn't chattel slavery either, because nobody came and grabbed you there. You were there, and these people decided to afflict you. You were never in exile from God because you never knew him. You can't be in exile from him who you don't know. So you got to remember that. That's what exile, that's what captivity means. Exile. And what separates you from your Elohim? Your sins do. So when you a sinner, you in captivity, because you're separate from God. Ain't no way around it. We got to stop doing all that, man. We in captivity. You ain't in no captivity, nigga, because you can pack up and leave anytime you want. Nigga, you can renounce American citizenship and go live anywhere you want. Ain't nobody telling you you can't leave. I don't. And it don't matter. That ain't got nothing to do with the nations. You know why he used the nations to rule over you like that? Let me tell you why. Genesis chapter 4. He said, man, if you do well, shall you not be accepted? And if not, sin lie at the door. But what else did he say about that sin? That effectively it would rule over you. So he got these people ruling over you because they sinners. So since it's sin, I'm going to let sin rule over you. See, the man, let me read that to you in Genesis 4, man. Did he go in a land that you know not? Since you like to serve sin, and since you like to serve nothing, then that's verse 7. If you do well, shall you not be accepted? And if you do not well, sin lie at the door. And unto you his desire, and you shall rule over him. So that's what's going to happen to you. Since you like to serve sin, he lets sin rule over you. It's not that hard to understand. Besides the fact that he told you the wicked is the sword. But yeah, man, you ain't in no captivity, boy. You can go back. See, this is the thing, right? I done told you this before. You can never say you got power and you don't have your own land. You ain't got no power. I don't care what you build. I don't care what you do. If another man can come take it, if another man can lay claim to it, if another man can tax you for it, you ain't got no power because it ain't yours. You know what I'm talking about? The Lord already told you that. Who the strangers tax? He said, who do they tax? Strangers or children? They say strangers. He said, and the children are free. So if you worry about that, you ain't confessed you a stranger and pilgrim on the earth. You ain't been persuaded and embraced the promises of God, because you looking for a land that's made with man's hands. You ain't looking for a city that come down from Elohim, that's eternal, that can never be destroyed, that can never decay, that can never rot. That means your sacrifice ain't got no salt in it. You done took out the salt of the covenant. You done forgot what the covenant was about. And don't get me wrong, I understand. But I'm looking at this book. I'm here to tell you, boy. That's why you serve these people. You love sin, so you can serve sin then. That's what you want. You think that stuff means, you think that's ironic when he say, I'll give you over to a reprobate mind to do those things that's not convenient? I'll let you serve a group of people that's not convenient. Because that's what you want. He just giving you what you want. How you want something and then get upset when they give you what you want? Oh, because you realize that what you thought you wanted, you ain't really want. It's too late now. You got to take it. It's a lot of people, they want a lot of things. And then they get it. And then they realize that ain't what you want. A lot of people say they want money till they get some money. Then they realize they ain't want everything that came along with that money. I keep seeing that every time the reels pop up with these goofy niggas talking about to catch a gold digger. Oh, no, I ain't doing nothing on my side, man. Last night, the internet was kept going off, but it ain't doing nothing. Man, these dudes always be sitting here asking these women, what you bring to the table? You a goofy nigga for even asking a woman some junk like that. Because you supposed to tell her, this is what I require. You know what I'm talking about? If you going to sit at my table. I don't give a damn what you, because she can bring something to the table that you don't want. This man was steady talking about, so he said he offered to a woman, he said, I'll teach you the real estate game and you can get your own money. And she was like, no. And I'm like, this woman's crazy. I said, but then she going to be the type of woman y'all complain about. Because then she going to be getting money and then she ain't going to be the type of woman you say you want. Then this nigga told one of these women 50-50. Oh, you a weirdo. Because I'm not looking at no woman talking about go 50-50 with me, man. Not talking about, because you ain't going to be, if you going 50-50 with her, guess what that means? She 50% woman, 50% man. And you 50% woman and 50% man. Because now you going to have to ask permission. That's what these boys were talking about. The dude say you shouldn't have to ask permission to better yourself as a man. But you know, I keep telling y'all that asking permission don't come from black men. That's white women that demand they men ask them permission to do X, Y, Z. I told y'all that a couple weeks ago. That stereotype that white women are just these dainty, submissive women who just don't, yes, baby. That's a lie from hell. I know you ain't been around white people if you believe that. The happy wife, happy life comes from white men. Because I'm not asking no woman permission to be no better. I'm not asking, baby, can I go to the gym? I need to get in better shape. I'm just going. You don't ask permission from nobody, and it's your life as a man. That's insane. That's like Yahuah asking y'all, you think I should go ahead and stay up here and die, or you want me to get out? Where you ever seen God ask you permission for him to be God? That don't even make sense. Because there's no way. That 50-50 ain't going to work for you long term, man. Little homie that called me the other day, said, man, he finally got off the street. He's staying with a chick. I said, man, don't you be going to them women how trying to tell them women what to do like you did last time. That's how you got mama status. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down. But I say, boy, you better get you some money, boy. Because it's only so long for a woman to take care of you, boy, before she starts sunning. I don't care, but she my submissive. She is right now. Let her pay them bills for about a year. She go to look at this damn nigga always in here farting. Before she loved your fart, she didn't never say they would stink. She they would stink, but she liked you, so she ain't say nothing. Now they always stink. Your breath stinks. She noticed every time greens get stuck in your teeth. Now she like this here. Now you went from being a baby, broke nigga when you get in the job. See, you don't do yourself like that, man. You hear me, boy? I say, do you hear me, boy? Let me get you, boy. Yeah, you got to think about that, man. That's no disrespect. But this nigga be always doing it. This is the crazy part, right? And I told this nigga that too, because that jump pissed me. I think I told you all this before, right? You can't be walking down the sidewalk. Most of these videos probably ain't real. Then again, how some of them hoes be talking, it might be. You see a chick walking down the sidewalk, you already an old kind of bad body looking nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Then you got the nerve to walk up to a chick and want to holler at her and say, you seem like you a vibe. Nigga, you lame as hell. You know what I'm saying? To be on the street and look at a woman and say you seem like a vibe. Are you serious, nigga? That's the best you can come up with? You seem like a vibe. Then women looking at you, they like, no. Now, one, I already know that the average woman don't want to be approached by a strange man on the street uninvited. You know what I'm talking about? Then if you do uninvite yourself, she at least would need to be attracted to you. So when they see him, they be like, no, I'm straight. Then he be like, all right, that's fine. Then he walk off to his car. He got a convenient Lamborghini, Corvette, Lambo truck. Park, oh, you already know it. Park right there. You hit the engine. Now here she come jumping in the car. You know what I'm talking about? And the point of the matter is, nigga, what did you think she was gonna do? Even if it was real, what do you think she gonna do? And this is what I try to tell the nigga, man. I say, bro, let's keep it real, right? She don't like you, and you're approaching her. So the only way she gonna deal with you is you gonna have to pay. So you hit the car engine because you wanted to get her attention to see what she was gonna do. It didn't even click in your mind, nigga, she don't like you. And if you deal with a woman, especially if she been out here kind of moving, she ain't got no morals or no values, oh yeah, she gonna make you pay for her company. You know what I'm talking about? You gonna have to pay for that. They jump in the car, oh, you gotta take me shopping. You gonna drop a bag? Cause they already looking at you. Nigga, you fat and sloppy. I don't want to talk to you. Man, one of them hoes told that nigga, she said, come on now, brother. You're in front of me with your baby shower outfit on. I don't want to talk to you. I say, damn. That nigga had on a Burberry hat with the Burberry long sleeve shirt, his white pants. She wasn't lying. That nigga definitely had on the baby shower fit. She killed that nigga. Hey, and I'm like, oh man, that's tough. Well, he a trick. But it's the thing, right? Now, some of them chicks, this why I know with some of them it was real, because where they at, they in Miami. And the chicks was like, well, nigga, you got this kind of car. In their mind, they already know a nigga riding in the Lambo. They already expecting these men to trick, because niggas who really got it like that, that's what they do. They tricking. So they already got their mind, that's what you finna do. Now you upset, talking about, I need a partnership. Oh, you's a pussy. You're not finna look at no woman talking about, are you gonna be my partner? Can we go 50-50? But for me, it's the shock of you really shocked that these women want to be taken care of, and then they see you got, at least they think you got some money. They think they done hit the bolita. You know what I'm talking about? They think they finna ball. Because if a nigga pull up on you in a Lambo truck, he talking about he want to holler at you, you can say what you want to say. Yeah, you cool and all, but you like, well, damn, I might be able to do a few things. I can't fumble this bag. That's all. It is what it is. I don't know why they get upset, man. That's what you get for trying to holler at random chicks walking down the sidewalk. What type of quality woman you thought you was going to get? You just walking down the sidewalk conveniently. How nobody don't notice the cameraman? Now, he say he got a camera in the car. How ain't nobody notice this nigga cross the street? I know this nigga ain't in the bushes. These niggas be at the gas station dressing all bummy. This nigga look like he smoked crack. Then go jump in the fly whip. Oh, you don't want to talk to me? Why would she, sir? You got boogers in your nose. These niggas act like a woman supposed to talk to you. You look like you smoke crack. What's wrong with him, Bird? What? Lamentations 1. What? 5. Her adversaries are the chief. Her enemies prosper. You who have afflicted her for the multitude of her transgressions. Her children are gone into captivity before the enemy. And from the daughter of Zion, all her beauty is departed. Her princes are become like harts, find no pasture. And they're gone without strength before the pursuer. Excuse me. Let's drop down to verse 11. All her people sigh, they seek bread. They've given her pleasant things for meat to relieve the soul. See, O Yahuah, consider, for I become vile. Nothing to you, all you that pass by. Behold, and see if there be any sorrow like unto my sorrow, which is done unto me, wherewith Yahuah have afflicted in the day of his fierce anger. You notice what it said? Everybody that passed by, have you ever seen a sorrow like mine? Because what did it say? Everybody who were passing by, what they were doing? Wagging their head, selling out. Ain't that what he told you in Chronicles? That's what he would do when he destroyed that house? That everybody would walk by, reviling, saying, is this the house? Same thing happened to him. From above, he has sent fire into my bones, and it prevailed against me. He has spread a net forth for my feet. He have turned me back. He has made me desolate and faint all the day. The yoke of my transgression is bound by his hand. They are wreathed and come upon my neck. He's made my strength to fail. The Lord delivered me into hands. I am not able to rise up. The Lord hath trodden underfoot all my mighty. And in the He have called an assembly against me to crush my young men. The Lord have trodden the virgin, the daughter of Yahudah, as in a wine press. So let's look at this in regards when he say to crush my young men. Oh, that's nothing there. Again, when you look at crush, it's shabar. Shan, Bat, and Raj. To break in pieces, to be broken, to be shattered. When you look at Shan, Bat, and Raj, you can sit back and look at Raj and say the chief consumed the son, or the father sacrificed or destroyed his own son. Because he say, chasten your son while there is hope, and spare not for his crime. You know what I'm talking about? So when you turn around and you look at him, he's been crushed, he's been pulverized. What was that before? I think it was a video. Mm-hmm. Oh, on the corn that's beaten out. So when you look at that corn that's beaten out, you see that, that's dealing with it forth as that first fruits unto Yahuah for that meat offering. Green ears of corn. What does it mean when you got green ears of corn? Green ears of corn. What does that signify if the ears of the corn are green? If y'all didn't know, what would be the Hebrew word for green ears of corn? It would be a bib. You know what a bib is, don't you? You know what a bib is, don't you? What is it? No, it's not the first day of the year. Okay. Get it together then. Give me 12 push-ups. Actually, you owe me 36. I need 36 right now. And ain't nobody, everybody shame this nigga till she start doing her push-ups. Go tell your cousin she need to do 36 push-ups.
Why do I do that?
What you mean, why would you do that? Because I asked you to. Now you give me 12 push-ups. Right now. So when you got olive, bat. And of course it's fresh young barley ears, barley. The month of the ear forming, the greening of the crop, growing green, the first month of the year. Young ear of grain. So you see the strength of the son's house. So notice, right? What's the time? What did Mashiach tell you right before he got killed? My time is fulfilled. So now he's the green corn. It's time. Then he got beaten. You know what I'm talking about? But also, he said you got to put oil upon it and lay frankincense. Didn't they lay oil on it? They put some oil on it. Little spices. Let's look at that frankincense. What is frankincense? It's definitely a frankincense. It's obanum in a lot of colognes. Lovely, lovely note to have in your fragrance. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all niggas might be into a little incense. I like a little incense in mine. You know what I'm saying? I like a little oud. You like a little oud? The word frankincense, y'all, is level 9. Frankincense. It's a ripe resin burned as a fragrance. You got lamad, bat, oud, bat, hey. Lamad, bat, oud, bat, hey. Who that is? Oh, she always be doing that. Huh? That nigga don't see much.
That's God. He's our
You back there playing with that baby, ain't you? Yep, that's what you back there doing. That baby beat you up. Yeah. You look like you pushed all the face. Yeah, you probably was in her face breathing. You always in her face breathing. So you ain't breathe on that baby? Breathe on that baby. Notice, right? It's not a meat offering until it's hit with salt on your first fruits anyway. You know what I'm talking about? That first fruit offering is not acceptable until it's seasoned with salt. The ears are dried by fire, and the ears are fully beaten. And then you add oil and frankincense. Let's look at dried by fire. You been dried by fire? What is dried? Kala, to roast, to parch, to be burned. Kuf, lamad, and hay. Behold, the light of the. But that's what happened when he got burned and when he was afflicted. Knowing, going back to what we read in Lamentations. Verse 16, and the priest shall burn the memorial of it, the part of the beaten corn thereof, and the part of the oil thereof, and with the frankincense thereof, an offering made by fire unto Yahuah. And again, where is that memorial? Remember, that's Azkarah, and that's a memorial offering of that which is to be remembered. You gotta realize something, that God's sacrifice is a sacrifice that's remembered before heaven. But let's come back and talk about this Thanksgiving offering, because I think that's what we was in Leviticus. And then I might have grabbed the wrong chapter. I did, because we weren't supposed to be in chapter 2. We were supposed to be in chapter 7. But it worked out either way. Leviticus 7. 7 and 11. Well, you said it didn't hurt. That's what you said? Not for real. Leviticus 7 and 11. This is the law of the sacrifice of peace offerings which he shall offer unto Yahuah. If he offer it for thanksgiving, then he shall offer with the sacrifice of thanksgiving unleavened cakes. I definitely was wrong because that's what it was. Unleavened cakes, mingled with oil, unleavened wafers, anointed with oil, cakes mingled with oil, fine flour, and fried. Remember, because we talked about that, right? But besides the cakes, he shall offer his offering leavened bread with the sacrifice of thanksgiving of his peace offerings. We talked about that last week, right? The leavened and the unleavened sacrifice at the same time. Because Yahushua was your leavened and unleavened sacrifice at the same time. Unleavened because he's them young barley ears come to maturity, no sin, without spot and blemish. And leavened because he took on your sins. And then, of course, I think we looked at that in regards of Adam being leavened and unleavened at the same time. Verse 13. I read that already. I'm sorry. Verse 14. And if he shall offer one out of the whole oblation of a heave offering unto Yahuah, it shall be the priest that sprinkled the blood of the peace offering. So let's talk, because we're really taking this thing to look at these sacrifices, to go back so you can understand. When I say sacrifices, the sacrifice of joy, the sacrifice of thanksgiving, and things of that nature. That startled you. To discuss sacrifices. I hit the wrong thing. Let's look at what a heave offering is, everybody. So when you look at a heave offering, it is ter-umah, contribution, offering, heave offering, any offering to God. Hold on, y'all. Guess what type of offering a heave offering can be? Of grain, money, etc. I'm only mentioning that because that's what people will tell you. You know what I'm saying? That they would say, and it's just not true. It's just not true. I just need you to know everything, period, when it comes to, also, you know, it's your shoulder offering when it comes to the offerings in this text. Come over to Exodus 25. And I'm going to show you where it show you off the top that a heave offering wasn't just no bulls and goats, no corns and crops. You got some corns and crops? Why you ain't got none? I didn't say corns, I said corn. Huh? You ain't got no corn? You ain't got no crops? Why you ain't got none? I need some corn, cuz. On the cob. You ain't got no corn on the cob?
No.
You got sweet corn?
No.
You got street corn?
No.
You got blue corn?
No.
You got yellow corn?
No.
Nope. Ah. Exodus 25 and 1. And Yahuah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the sons of Yasharal, that they bring me an offering of every man that give it willingly with his heart, shall you take my offering. Notice that he said every man that give it what? Willingly. Let's go back and look. And that word offering is the same word that's used for heave offering over here, if you was curious or wondering. Just so you know. Willingly, again, Nadab, Noon, Dalet, Bad, free will offering, to make willing, to incite, to impel, volunteer, Noon, Dalet, and Bad. The son was hung for the house, and he did it willingly, because with greater love have no man than this, that a man lay his life down for his friends. Any sacrifice that you do, it needs to be voluntarily, it needs to be willingly. I put it to you this way. It's only one sacrifice that would not be considered a willing sacrifice. And what sacrifice would that be? For the individual bringing it. Because a peace offering is voluntary, is it not? A heave offering is voluntary, is it not? A meat offering is, but it's not atonement per se, but we'll allow it. A sin offering is the only one that ain't voluntary. Because if you bring in a sin offering, it cuts you out of pocket. And you need some atonement. Because you done sinned. But every other offering, that's out your own heart. Yeah, you made an offense. You got peace offerings, you got meat offerings, you got drink offerings. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, and another, I almost forgot it. It's the same thing, though. We're one and the same. And you got trespass offerings. See, if you got a trespass offering, you're out of pocket. You done created an offense. Every other offering is voluntary. Now, you got those offerings that have to be made in the temple, but we talking about for the people. If you came and brought a meat offering, that was willingly. If you came and brought a peace offering, a Thanksgiving offering, that was of your own volition. Now, as it pertains to what you needed to do to bring offerings for feast days and Shabbats, see, that's another conversation. 25 and 3. And this the offering which you shall take of them, gold, silver, and brass. Now, what that sound like to y'all? That don't sound like it was never money to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about tithes specifically. Dudes say that with all offerings. I need you to understand how this thing works when they're dealing with sacrifice. We're talking about the freely sacrificing and what you need to bring, but it's giving us an opportunity to go in the law and look at sacrifices as a whole, period. So you know what sacrifices are for what. We done did it before, but we need to do it again. What sacrifices are for what? What do they pertain to specifically? How are they supposed to be done? And then how you do them as you, an individual, outside of bringing a literal animal, because you the sacrifice now. You know what I'm talking about? It is the building fund, specifically, to be honest with you, Quran, because that silver, gold, and brass was literally offerings made for the tabernacle. It literally was. That's literally what it is. And you are 100% accurate, because that's exactly what it's for. Matter of fact, I'll finish the rest. Verse 3. And this the offering which you shall take of them, gold, silver, and brass, and blue, purple, scarlet, fine linen, and goats, ram skin dyed red, and badger skin, shittim wood, oil for the light, spices for the anointing oil, and for sweet incense, onyx stones, and stones to be set in the ephod and in the breastplate. And let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them, according to all that I show you, after the pattern of the tabernacle, the pattern of all the instruments thereof, even so you make it. Oh, praise Yahuah, man. Easter say that we need to, that's important for us to know. Because you need, see, this is how you won't get got for a nigga begging for money. And when I say begging for money, listen to what I'm telling you. You're only supposed to be making offerings when you're actually a part of something. Not just, oh, I'm watching this dude at the house. I'm listening to this dude on Clubhouse, and he's saying, since you listening to me, you ought to pay me. No, that's not how that works. This person has to literally, number one, work for Yahuah, live for Yahuah, and manifest the word of Yahuah to the people of a group of believers, not just somebody who say, if you feel like this ministry is blessing your life, make a donation. No, that's not how that works. That man ain't never went nowhere and said, make a donation. That ain't how that works, man. Now, of course, now let's put it to you this way. Remember, we talked about Saul when they went to go see Samuel. What did they do? When his daddy's they said, hey man, we can't go to the man of God. Well, what's the difference? They were going to him. They weren't cutting on, and they were going to him seeking a word from him. Not I cut on my TV.
You gotta wait.
I got on my free app on my phone. I got a walkie-talkie app on my phone. And these dudes telling me I need to pay them. No, man. Hush your mouth. Hush your mouth. Hush your mouth. Hush your mouth. Leave my baby alone. I know it. I'm going to op your butt. Your daddy going to get you. And then come out, right over there where he was at. Where he at? I can't see him. Come on back to Leviticus 7, man. More definitely though, Isha ain't tell you no lie. You do need, because see, that's why these dudes come with all this bad information that they be coming with when it pertains to these sacrifices. So a lot of these things, these sacrifices and these offerings will be a lot in Leviticus and Exodus, obviously, and probably a little bit of Numbers. It ain't too much of it in Deuteronomy. That's why you see that in the Psalms 54 when he said, I will freely sacrifice to Yahuah. What verse I stopped at? I'm in 14. And if you shall offer one out of the whole oblation for a heave offering unto Yahuah, it shall be the priest that sprinkle the blood of the peace offering. So like I said, it's a heave offering here, but that same word for heave offering is what you've seen for offering in Exodus, and it just literally means a gift to God. You know what I'm saying? See, we want to come in and we want to regulate what those gifts were that those people were given. Like I told you, I was talking to a gentleman about that. He telling me, no, man, it was never money. I said, what you going to do with this Leviticus 27, bro? What you going to do with that? Oh, that's talking about estimation for the temple. I said, bro, it's talking about Jubilee in here too, bro. What's wrong with you? And you teaching people the word, bro. That just irks me. Where you think you going? You smell like outside. Seven 14. I read that already. 15. And the flesh of the sacrifice of his peace offerings for the thanksgiving shall be eaten the same day that it is offered. He shall not leave any of it until the morning. Now remember, we didn't talk about that peace offering before. Y'all remember that, don't you? Hey, why y'all making all that noise? Y'all be looking stupid. Well, you better be glad, boy. Cause I'm talking about you hate you niggas wouldn't do nothing fooling with me. You wouldn't watch no TV. Hell, you don't go outside, so it don't mean nothing. You wouldn't do nothing. For every violation in here, it'd be 30 days of no fun.
No, you don't have a seat.
Remember, what is a peace offering? It's shalem. Shan, la, mean. It's a voluntary sacrifice of thanks, but it is also a peace offering or a sacrifice for alliance or friendship. So you got, when you look at a peace offering, it gets offered in two different ways. An offering for friendship, but also an offering for thanks. Let me look at something, man. I think, what is it? Jose? Come over here to Jose 14. Girl, why you still crying? Why? Don't nobody want to hear that. Shut your mouth. Relax and breathe.
You done? If you done, go.
Fix your face.
Put it right there. Thank you, young man.
Jose 14 and 1.
Let me see. Right here. Okay, I can throw that away.
Oh, Yasharal. Return unto Yahuah, your Elohim, for you fallen by your iniquity. Take with you words, turn to Yahuah, say unto him, take away all iniquity, receive graciously. So we render the calves of our lips. Now, you know, a lot of people who don't believe in Mashiach could tell you, see, you ain't got to have no sacrifice. All you got to do is render the calves of your lips. See, they missing the point. This doesn't denote the fact of a needing of an atonement. Let me see something real quick. Put that book up, boy. What you think this is? I ain't hurt. You tough. You getting ready. You gonna be a professional wrestler? Huh? Oh, you are? Oh, I didn't know that. What they gonna call you? You want to be a professional wrestler? You do? That's what they do in wrestling. That's why they do chops. You say, woo! Don't flinch.
Sit down.
Don't flinch.
Mind your business. Give me the ball.
Let's look at that, what that means to render the calves of your lips. You can sit down. You used to standing over what you're standing over here for. You ain't got no money, so I don't know what you're standing over here for. So render here is shalom. Y'all know what that word is. A little different from the one you heard. That's to be a covenant of peace. To be at peace. One in covenant of peace, to make peace with, the cause to be at peace. To requite, to recompense, to reward, to restore, to make compensation, to complete, to finish, or to perform. So you're rendering the calves of your lips. What calves here? It is par, which of course is a young bull, steer, a bullock. You got pay and raj. So what would you come up with looking at pay and raj for calves? A young bull, a bullock. Pay and raj. Joanne. Come here, Joanne. What y'all got for pay and raj? Joanne. Would you get up and move? Because you started sitting in a chair, so just sit in another spot. Oh, then she'll be all right. Y'all ain't got nothing for paying Ross?
The highest praise.
Oh, now you don't want the highest praise. Because hallelujah ain't going to do it for you. Not in the context of what we read. You look at pay, what does it mean? Joanne. Don't worry about it.
And you said, no. Be quiet,
The word of the highest. That's what Civic say. Wow.
Mommy.
Ain't no mama. No mommy. I said no mommy. Hey, boy, open that damn door, boy. Open that door, Mark. So what do you think that means if you offering the words of the highest? But knowing that shalom, as far as render is concerned, is a covenant of peace. What are you actually doing? Are you paying him back with what? With a bullock. That's what you're paying him with. You paying him back with his words. Why? Because you're going to offer his words because you offering yourself according to his word. Not just I repent. No, that's not good enough. You got to pay. See, that's what people don't want to do. You want something, but you don't want to pay the cost. Ain't that what the Lord told you in Luke 14, that you sit down and count the cost? You got to know in anything in life, you're going to have to pay something to get it. You got to pay something to get it. Nigga want money, but you don't want to pay the sacrifice of no free time. How the hell you want to be rich and think you're going to be able to travel the world and have fun at the same time? Where in the hell you ever seen anybody do that? Nobody who's ever done anything like this never happened. You'll look at an athlete, well, they do it. Do you realize you say a basketball player, this man played, if his team make it to the finals, he played from October to June? That's 8 months. So you know how long he really got? If they don't make the playoffs, they play from October to April. You know what I'm talking about? So this man ain't, but guess what? He still got to train. He still got to do all that if he want to keep his job. You think this man is living a high life? You look at entertainers, you thinking they balling. You realize these people on the road every other day? You sit back and we crack jokes about Temptations. What that little boy tell? Why you always on the road? If I ain't on the road, nigga, you ain't got nowhere to live. It's just in a different way, and they work a lot and much longer hours. Because they got to be self-motivated. Entertainer can't be like, oh, I'm done at 5. He can say, hey, I ain't working past 3 today. He got that type of leeway. But for the most part, no, them people work all the time. All the time. Like most of us, like I just messing him about being a wrestler. You see wrestlers on TV, they don't work as much now as they used to. But boy, when Hulk Hogan was in his prime, that man worked 350 days a year. 350 days a year on the road. From one town to the next town, from one town to the next town, from one town to the next town, one town to the next. See, don't nobody look at all that. You just look at it, you think these people, man, they had to make sacrifices to be able to generate that kind of wealth. Because that's how they make their money. Because if they're not on tour, they're not going to eat. You look at men who make people who make movies, they shoot the movie 3-4 months at a time, and some of them shooting 2-3 films a year. Because these people just ain't sitting back. Because you know how people think, if I made $1 million, that's why you broke. Because you'll make $1 million and you're going to live like you made $1 million. While they going to make $1 million and live like I ain't made nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Because they know half of it's gone to the feds. You know what I'm talking about? So I ain't got $1 million. I got $500,000. You know what I'm saying? You just seen what Mary J. Blige was crying about, the money she had to pay in taxes and the alimony she got to pay. We don't feel sorry for you, folks. Why would nigga feel sorry for her paying alimony and men been paying alimony for decades? Hey, it happens. Deal with it. You get money, pay the man. I mean, at the end of the day, shoot. I mean, what else? Because if it was a dude, nobody'd be crying. If he said, I hate paying alimony, nobody say nothing. She deserved it. She was with you all them years. She said, how I got to pay alimony and he cheated on me? How we know he cheated on you? Because you said it. Ain't nobody talked to him. No, I'm just saying that I don't know what he did. I'm just saying that in the perspective. Just because you say he cheated on you, that don't mean that he did. I mean, a nigga can say Monica steal. That don't mean she steal. Niggas say Johnny walked past and he like to tickle niggas' feet. I seen a skit where a nigga did that, but he did it with not his fingers though. Just with a feather while niggas was asleep. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, you know what people like to do to the nigga when they fall asleep drunk. You know what you niggas used to like to do to niggas. Yeah, that's what it was. That's how. You know what I'm saying? You want to fall asleep? I got a trick for you. I wish a nigga would, man. Nigga paint niggas' face with makeup and all that type of stuff. Then I wonder why you got makeup. Gotta think about all that type of stuff, man. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, if you in a house full of dudes and dudes put makeup on your face, then you gotta ask, why you got that? I don't know if it was a prop or not, but I'm just wondering. If I'm at home when you put lipstick on my face, I'm wondering why do you have this? It is important because now I'm questioning what you got going on.
I'm questioning
everything. I don't even care how you put it on is secondary to why do you have it.
I've always like niggas want to sleep on you.
Damn.
Oh,
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
You ain't guarding your chest, boy. Man, if you get drunk enough, man, you'll sleep through anything. And some people, I mean, you got to realize, you know what I'm saying, especially with marijuana, that slow your nervous system down. But I told you, man, my homeboy was going on some, what's them damn pills? No Percocets. Yeah, he was on muscle relax. I don't know which one it was. No, that nigga was on there, right? I slide through the spot. I'm like, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Little brother like, yeah, man, brother in there sleep. Think he on the Lord tabs. And he said, I'm finna steal all this money. I said, well, damn. Yeah, well, that nigga went in that nigga pocket too and took all this money. And this is blood brother. His blood younger brother. That nigga like this here, man. He like, yeah, bro, I'm finna get him. I said, well, I'm finna dip because I don't want nothing to do with this here. I'm talking about nigga didn't wake up or nothing. I don't want nothing that's gonna have me gone to the point nigga go in my pocket. I don't get up. He stung him for about a couple bands. But he should have got stole considering what he in jail now for. Nasty bastard. Yeah, that nigga in there for some sexual battery under 12 type stuff. But when his money got took, this was in the early 2000s. When he caught this case, he been in the county about 3-4 years by this help. I'm like, damn, boy, 12-year-old? You couldn't have been that pressed. I hope you ain't did it. I hope the people find him. You know what I'm talking about? But boy, and I seen the nigga had a nerve to say, free my cousin. I said, no, charges like that, you can't even say that. You got to be like, hey, man, they lying on my cousin. Yeah, his own brother, man. Shoot, man. Lil Johnny was like this here, boy, who? Gonna get that. And nigga went right in there and got him, too. I forgot what I went around there for, because they were trapping. You know what I'm saying? Puerto Rican boys, man. That nigga was like, hey, man, bro, sleep. You on them tabs. I'm finna get it. That nigga took his car keys in. that nigga Robert woke up, that nigga said, my car. I say, shoot, I don't know. I say, nigga, you know where your damn car is. Your brother got your car, nigga. That nigga took everything out of his pockets, boy. That is a lesson in life. Stop getting high. Stop using drugs. Stop drinking. Stuff like that won't happen to you. You know how many times I heard stories? I done told you about dudes be wanting to. It's a crying shame that dudes got to tell other dudes don't interact sexually with a woman who's drunk. You know what I'm talking about? But that's a surefire way how you gonna catch a rape case. And you definitely will if you want to have sex with a woman who ain't even mentally coherent enough to know what's going on. I don't want nothing to do with that. That's a surefire way to go to prison for 10 years. People do it every day. I done told y'all that before. Y'all done been at many clubs. Niggas just steady giving y'all a drink. You thinking they giving y'all drinks because they cool. Or you ask somebody how and you wonder, you want some more? That nigga trying to get you loose and ready to go. And your stupid behind steady drinking. We having a good time, girl. Yeah, them niggas sitting back like this here. Yeah. Like Mr. Burns. Yeah, they sitting there watching. Them niggas ain't drinking nothing. You know what I'm talking about? They just sitting there looking at you. Yeah, look, I didn't know he bought plenty of bottles of Irk Jerk for the young whores in the neighborhood. With this, what you mean? You act like you know this nigga your whole life, like y'all been married since y'all was 19. This nigga here crazy. This nigga, he was damn near that.
I tell you, I'm business.
Huh? He don't know about what? Plot. I definitely thought this nigga said plenty of times he kept the nickel bags for the young scallywags in the neighborhood. This nigga done said that and you was sitting right there. He got a dime. That nigga got a dime and a liter of yak. He been the same since. I can't believe this. Hey man, look at man. I'm just telling you, because you got daughters. You need to be on top. I'm cracking jokes about it, but all seriousness though, I'm a man. I know what these niggas out here. Some of y'all got daughters, and some of y'all got nieces, and some of you got cousins, whether they in the word or not. You better tell them. You know what I'm talking about? You thinking niggas doing all that because they nice, they want to have a good time? Niggas know alcohol lower inhibition. They figure if she get drunk enough, she gonna slide. That's the same thing dudes do with reefer. They trying to look for anything you like to do as a means to get them yams. You like cocaine? Nigga go get killed. He don't know where to get no cocaine from. He finna find out. I don't know what type of world, but then that's when they come back. Well, you ought to tell men to be better. Your stupid behind up out of here, man. Niggas killing out here. So if people don't care about taking a life, they ain't finna listen to that. It's your job to protect yourself versus worry about somebody else doing better. I can't be responsible for what he do, but you can be responsible for listening and stop being a jackhead. Stop getting in cars with strange niggas talking about we finna go get drunk and high. You big dummy. What is you doing? You don't even know this man. Stop hanging out with your whole friend that like to ride and go to niggas that you don't know. Yeah. Go ahead and drink. Go ahead and drink. It don't matter. Man, let me tell you something, man. Real talk, man. As a young woman, you shouldn't be going to no nigga house with none of your friends if you don't know them niggas. Especially if they talking about drugs and alcohol. And if them niggas go to pulling out drugs and alcohol, you need to call Uber. Hell, you ain't got to call an Uber. Just call a cab. And they'll be like, I ain't got no money. I thought them niggas was going to get my yams. I had to go. Just take me around the corner. I call somebody else to come get me. Being dead serious, man. That's how you, man, look at me. You know how many girls been sexually assaulted following behind their friends, going somewhere with some nigga they don't know? Yeah, that's how that stuff happened, man. I just seen some ladies they were playing a clip of what her name is, Jess Hilarious. She was talking about she was supposed to be going on a date. She got all dressed up and a dude popped up with some t-shirt and some jeans on. She was like, nigga, what is you doing? You know what I'm saying? But they were really, all the women was just talking about how y'all be looking for any reason to put on extravagant clothes. You know what I'm talking about? And then you looking at a dude like, why you? Because dudes don't get together in a group and say, let's put on our best clothes to go get drunk and come back home. I'm finna go eat and I'm finna put on a $2,000 suit to get drunk. Unless you do that. Like every day. See, y'all like to get dressed up for no reason. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't got to be no reason other than we going out, let's put some clothes on. Dudes don't necessarily really do that, especially if you know he finna go get drunk because he want to be comfortable because I'm finna be drunk. You know what I'm saying? I got all these clothes on, I'm be hot, I'm already gonna be sweating, I'm drunk. You know what I'm talking about? I think she said something about they were going somewhere, nigga went to, supposed to be going to a high class restaurant, nigga put on sweats. She told me, y'all don't even know what to do. I'll be like, it's really because most dudes just don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody say, I got to put on a tux. Well, really, it's just we don't live. It's not the 20s no more. So what I mean by that, in the 20s, the 50s, the 70s, niggas wore suits every day. Yeah, they wore suits every day. You know what I'm talking about? They necessarily weren't expensive suits, but dudes wore suits like every day. So when you got to like the 80s and things got a little bit more casual and this, that, there, and the third, people just stopped doing it. Because see, Cub was talking about that a while back. Me and him were talking, because he's from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Cub from Detroit. So like this here, that's what they used to do. He want to go back to that. But I'm like, average dude, especially if they working depending on type of job they working, they mind ain't even like that. Y'all mind is like that all the time. Because see, y'all have clothes you ain't even wore, just sitting in the closet. See, I don't live my life like that. Because that's how you end up dead with a closet full of clothes you ain't never wore. You know what I'm talking about? Huh? I'm like this here. I bought it to wear it. Not looking for a special occasion. It really came from a man who talking about that with fragrances. He was like, nigga, stop buying fragrances talking about, I'm going to wear this for a special occasion. That nigga say, nigga, you better wear it. You know? Now, the reason why I say that, because if you know you don't live your life like that anyway, you might as well wear it. You know what I'm talking about? That's what he meant by nigga talking about, yeah, nigga, you don't go to cigar bar. You don't go to this. You don't go to that. You don't go to formal spots on a regular. You buying that for talking about you holding it for that when you don't live your life like that. You know what I'm talking about? I got freaking nigga like, oh yeah, this was the special occasion is the day I'm gonna wear it. Because I'm wearing it today. You know what I'm talking about? I throw trash away every day. Yeah, I'm not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you know you finna set something up, you go do that. But the point of the matter is you don't know how long you're gonna be here. So you better go ahead and start wasting your money if you know you ain't gonna use it. You know what I'm talking about? But of course, you know, certain spots, you know, you're gonna put on some type of clothes. But like I say, man, we live in a society now where everything's so casual. Yeah, man, dude's not finna get dressed up like that unless that's how he lived every day of his life. Because if you're dealing with a dude and he blue collar, that nigga ain't getting dressed up like that unless he got to. You know what I'm saying? This nigga ain't finna, I just came, I'm a plumber. I've been plunging out toilets all day. This nigga ain't finna come home and put a suit on. That nigga finna, hey man, you ever seen what plumbers deal with? The real money in plumbing is if you re-plumbing the whole house. But if you gotta come do, man, look at, man, nigga dealing with boo-boo water all day. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you dealing with stuff like that, man, when you come home, nigga, you ain't thinking about, because you only gonna have 1 or 2 days out to get fresh like that anyway. And that 1 or 2 days, you probably want to rest. I'm just talking about the reality of life, because again, it go back to the framework of special occasion. Like we don't live, most of us don't live our life like that. Like when we were cleaning up, you wasn't over there. None of y'all secret was in there. We were cleaning out that lady house. She like run the Riverside stuff like that with the museum and all that type of stuff. She got stuff like in that formal balls and all. That's the life they live in. You gonna have clothes for that. You know what I'm talking about? This is what she do on a regular basis, 2 to 3 times a week. You're going to have clothes for that. That's how you live in your life. Nigga, if you work every day, you ain't living your life like that. The hell you got all them damn clothes in that like that. You ain't going nowhere like that. Better just go ahead and enjoy it. Put it to use. That nigga, that's tough. He said that's going to be somebody else's problem. That nigga, that hard. I mean, to go somewhere formal, you have to be living in the life that you do in formal things. No dependence. And again, that means that's the life you live. And it would have to be according to the life that you live.
Get the book. Still back up.
Like if you go into a art event, if you ain't into art, you wouldn't be there. You like art? Oh, you don't like art? What about you? You like art? What is art? Oh, you just playing games. We out of here, man. Matter of fact, we've been on here 3 hours, man. I tried to make up for a little. If we did, that means to make an hour and a half, and I ain't gonna do that. Y'all who's trying to work. I appreciate y'all time. Y'all willing? We gonna, like I said, we got more stuff to look at as it pertains to the Thanksgiving offering and other sacrifices of that sort. Y'all willing? We'll be back at it on Wednesday to do it again. I appreciate y'all time. I bless y'all at the house of Elohim in the name of Yahuah. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. You know, just weigh and consider. Like I say, we're gonna be looking at as much of the stuff as the sacrifices and offerings as Yahuah will allow, and we just go on from there. So, again, bless y'all the house of Elohim in the name of Yahuah, and y'all willing to the next time. Hold on, y'all. We got to give him a good, strong chop before we leave. Shalom, that's my bad. All right.